And welcome once again, adventurers, here to the Crystal of Atlan Super Showmatch. Once again, we are celebrating the global launch of Crystal of Atlan. So, yesterday and today, we have been celebrating and bringing out the best of the best from 4 different countries in the region to compete in duels, team battles, and speedruns. And of course, at the end of all, only one fleet is going to be rising as our ultimate champion. But before we get into everything today, my name is Rubixco, and I will be your host and caster today as we kick off the second day of the Super Showmatch. And of course, welcome back to our viewers who joined us yesterday for day 1. We did have our 1v1s and our PvE time trials yesterday. And of course, hello to our adventurers joining us today. Whether you're here representing your country or your fleet, or tuning in for your favorite content creators, or just here to see some crazy action here in the arena, you guys are in the right place. And now, of course, getting into the Super Show match, of course, our players are playing for some really steep prizes. But of course, for you guys in the audience, we do have some surprises for you during our breaks. Whenever we have our breaks, we will be flashing some item codes to be given away. So if you haven't redeemed them yet, then of course keep your eyes peeled for those codes that will be showing up here in the lower left of your screens. And of course, we are playing for our own prizes here for our players as well. 15,000 US dollars are on the line because the stakes could not be higher for such a grand show match such as this. Of course, first off, we had our 1v1 PvP arena yesterday where we tested individual skill. $1,000 went to our top solo fighter, and of course $2,000 is going to the top team, and both of those went to Team Thailand yesterday, as well as our player Crazy Sola. And today, of course, we have our 3v3 PvP, where $3,000 is going to be split among the top 3 players of the top team, and of course $4,000 US dollars to the winning country's team. And of course, yesterday, completing our set of game modes, we have the time trial PvE, where of course our top team yesterday won 5,000 US dollars. And this, of course, was awarded to Team Thailand under Super Shy Orange GD. That team, they did really, really good yesterday. And as you can see, these are our content creators that are representing their teams. Of course, we have Pang Sampong representing Team Thailand. We have Myrtle Sarosa and her team representing the Philippines. Of course, we have Shadai Orange representing Taiwan, and Afif representing Team Indonesia. And of course, we have seen some really incredible gameplay from not just our team leaders, but of course, the players that they have selected from their respective region. I know we have a lot of people who have some friends in the teams, and I think we also have some people in the teams watching the streams right now. So guys, if you guys are on YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok, please let your name be known. Of course, we do have some people who are the top players in their servers. I believe that we have some people who are top 1 and top 2 among our Thai and Philippine teams, but we have to hand it, of course, to Team Indonesia and Team Taiwan. They've definitely been stepping it up in the games we've had so far. But yesterday, of course, getting into the different game modes we played, we have our 1v1 PvP. So our teams had to select their top 2 players to participate in solo matches. Here, they had to go in a round robin playing best of ones against every other player that was selected. After the 3 minutes and a win, the player would earn 1 point for their team, and of course, a loss earns them 0. And then, of course, we had the rankings later, which went to Team Thailand in the end. And of course, today featuring our 3v3 PvP format. This one, of course, we have 2 squads coming in from each team. So every team has 2 teams of 3 that are going to be competing against every other team. So we're going to be having 24 matches of 3v3s later. Again, it is going to be a best of 1 until every other team has played each other at least once. And of course, the winning team earns their team 1 point, and the loss earns them 0. And of course, at the end of the day, we're going to be counting the total number of wins to determine our winner. And yesterday, of course, we do have the biggest highlight, our time trial PvE challenge. This is where we had 8 players, all players and their captains, going through the HexChess Elite dungeon, where they had only 1 attempt to clear the dungeon as fast as possible. This one was very, very competitive yesterday. On top of that, our players had to make sure that none of them died or had to use any unnecessary revives, because each death counted towards an additional 8 seconds on their timers. But of course, we already know that our Team Thailand took the time trial yesterday, but of course, today we have our 3v3 matches, so it's time for redemption for our teams who haven't placed yet. But of course, for Team Thailand and the Pirate Crew, we have Pang Sampong and her team. For Squad 1, Pang Sampong is going to be playing together with Patu and Chinonos, and Squad 2 has Byrain, Arden Blue, and Tanoshi. And of course, for Team Philippines, representing Exodiac, we have Myrtle Sarasa herself, and in Squad 1, we have V-Wise together with Renala, as well as Squad 2, Myrtle, Cranberry, and Master Devs. Now, I know we have a lot of highlight players in these teams, so we're going to have to see what they bring for us later. But moving on to our other two teams here in the 3v3, we do have Team Indonesia. Team Ads being led by Afif himself in Squad 2, together with Mithril and Goonie, and Squad 1, of course, with Scatty, Tylenol, and Kais. And of course, our fourth team here in the Super Show match, we have Orange GD leading his team with Milubear, Get Me, Shu, Shut Eye Orange, Yecha, and Tomorrow, respectively. So again, it looks pretty competitive. I know we have a few people in the chat who have a lot of fan favorites here. So if you guys have any friends or people that you're rooting for, please let us know in the comment sections on either YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok. And speaking of the different pages of Crystal of Atlan, upcoming after this Super Show match, we have an exciting collaboration with One Punch Man. So if you guys are a fan of the anime or the manga, be sure that you're following the official pages of Crystal of Atlan so that you guys can get updates for that collaboration coming out on June 26th. So make sure that you guys mark your calendars for that. And I think in the comments, we do have some people asking about our players from the 1v1s yesterday. So as you can see, people who played in the 1v1s yesterday are going to be different from the people playing in the 3v3s. So currently we have a new set of players. So again, total time for redemption here. I know that a lot of our teams have been planning and strategizing on how they're going to be taking down these 3v3s. As we saw yesterday, there was a little bit of a slow ramp up during the 1v1s. It did take some time for our players to gain a little bit of confidence as the games went on, but I think here, 3v3, our players are all warmed up and they're ready to go here. So again, we have 24 matches, and our teams, of course, are going to be doing their best to rank up as many wins as they can for their respective country, but also for themselves, because on top of this, the individual team who has the most number of wins gets their own share of the $3,000 prize. So again, a lot of money on the line here. So if you guys want to also get in on the action and maybe join one of these super matches in the future, make sure that you guys are also staying tuned into your favorite content creators and the official pages if you ever want to join one of these tournaments in the future. As you can see, it's been a pretty big tournament. A lot of stakes are on, it's very high stakes, especially here for one of the first tournaments of the global launch of Crystal of Atlan. And I know you guys have been grinding out the game. So shoot your shot. You never know what could happen. And you might find yourself here in one of our very own Super Show matches. And I think we have a lot of people cheering for their favorite teams here. I see a lot of people commenting for V-Wise here for Team Philippines, as well as Team Indonesia. We have some people watching as well. There are some people who are asking how they can play. Also, speaking of this, we do have, just for everyone, if you don't know yet, if you haven't tried Crystal of Atlan or you've just started, Crystal of Atlan is a cross-platform video game. So it's available on mobile, PC, and PS5. So you guys can enjoy Crystal of Atlan anytime and anywhere. And of course, you can play with your friends across these different devices. So it's very accessible, very easy to play. And on top of that, if you guys haven't tried it already, it has really insane combat mechanics. You'll just see in a bit during the 3v3s. It's really fun. The hack and slash is really, really fun. The animations are really cool as well. And if you haven't tried one of these games before, there's a lot of aerial combos you can do. You can dodge in the sky and attack from the sky as well. You can do a lot of combos. So if you guys are really good at chaining abilities and managing your cooldowns, then this might be the game that is perfect for you. Now, we have some people who are talking about the codes. And of course, guys, the codes are going to be showing up during the breaks later. So make sure that you keep your eyes peeled for those codes. But of course, we do have our first game ready. So let's jump right into the game. All right. Looks like we do have our Pirate Crew and Team Exodiac going at it already. Pato and Pang Sampong with a little bit of damage on themselves. And for Team Philippines, we have Venus on the Gunner, as well as Renal on the Cloud Strider, and Wise is going to be on the Elementalist. So you can see everyone is pretty much sticking together here. Patu taking a lot of the heat from Team Philippines, but both teams maintaining a safe distance, waiting for their cooldowns to go back up again before they initiate. And Wise jumps in straight away, no hesitation. Venus coming in for support as well. Pirate Crew sustaining a little bit of damage there. The Scythe Guard doing a little bit of AoE healing. They're trying to recover from the onslaught just given by Team Philippines, but the members of Exodia aren't going to go backing down. Wise trying to focus in on that Scythe Guard, but Pang Sampong is going to be a little bit on the aggressive, dashing in. Patu taking a lot of the heat. Patu down to a third of their HP. Venus also looking a little bit low here. Both teams trying to reposition. Looks like Wise has been caught in a bit of a stun. Been knocked down once again. But it looks like, again, Team Philippines does not seem to want Team Thailand to have a little break for their cooldowns to come back online. Alright, from the POV of Patu again. Patu serving as that frontliner here for the Pirate Crew, but again, with the V-Wise and Renala being so aggressive in their approach, it looks like Patu can't stay in the front for too long. Pang Sampong trying to fire off a few shots. But again, Wise gonna try to initiate here. Not gonna be catching anyone out just yet. Pang Sampong again being targeted by Venus. Wise grabs all three players of the Pirate Crew. Patu does go down. 2 players left here for the Pirate Crew. Chino Nose looks very, very low. Of course, when you lose that Scythe Guard, that healing isn't going to be around anymore. Chino Nose has to do their best to stay out of the fire, but unfortunately, it looks like they're going to be locked down by Team Philippines. Wise going in once more, gets knocked back by Pang Sampong. Really good disengage here, but Chino Nose looks like they're going to be going down as well. It's Pang Sampong, all that's left for Team Thailand, but Exodiac is going to be taking the first win here in our 3v3 game mode. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. No more warm-ups, no more planning. We just got a first-hand look at 2 of our teams here for the 3v3 matchups. And again, Team Philippines looking absolutely solid in the way that they approached their first match here against the Pirate Crew. But of course, that is going to be the first match only. We still have 23 more matches to go. But so far, Team Philippines looking absolutely solid. Yesterday, we did see Team Thailand and Team Taiwan did take a lot of the awards home from the 1v1 and PvE game modes. But of course, now is the time for redemption for Team Philippines and Team Indonesia. Team Philippines, I think, again, doing pretty well, but Team Thailand has showed us yesterday that they are also not a force to be reckoned with. They did take home 2 of the awards themselves. So, of course, we never know what we see from Team Thailand, from the Pirate Crew. But, of course, up next, we have our 2 squads from Team Indonesia and Team Taiwan who are going to be battling it out. Of course, we do have some people who are playing once again today here from our PvE. And I think we do have a lot of Starbreaker players here. Just a little note from Team Indonesia. And for Team Taiwan, I believe we had a lot of Magiblade players here as well. So if you guys are looking forward to seeing different classes here in the 3v3s, you guys are in luck because I think they're going to be bringing out a lot of them today. So I want to ask you guys in the chat, do we have any favorite classes that we want to see here in the 3v3 so far? It's going to be really different from the PvP because PvP, you're going to be all on your own. But now 3v3, you have to think of your teammates. So again, which classes are we hoping to see here in the 3v3s? I know we see some more Berserkers as well. I see some people asking about the builds. Of course, for PvP, the builds are a little bit more simple compared to the PvE. But getting into the specifics, there are things that are separate for PvP and PvE. So in terms of builds, they're completely different. There are people asking about a Bounty Hunter class. Yesterday, surprisingly, we did see Venus playing the Bounty Hunter class during the PvE time trials. But today, of course, we noticed that Venus is playing a Gunner this time around. So really interesting to see the change in class here today. The question is, were they grinding out another account, or did they switch class? We're not too sure. But we do see 2 people asking about bounty hunters. Starbreaker. A lot of people asking for the Starbreaker as well. Very interesting. I've seen a lot of people who are saying that they really like Starbreaker. We haven't been seeing it too much here. There have been a lot of Scytheguard players. That's an interesting thing to note. Bounty hunters as well. I think we just didn't see them in the PvP 1v1s because maybe they're a little bit hard to play solo. But I think at the end of the day, regardless of class, of course, it's going to be up to the player and how they utilize the skills, how they make sure that they bring out the best in their characters, because of course, each of these characters, the approach is a little bit different. But I think we have been seeing some people talking about a bounty hunter warlock combo here from Facebook. We have some people shouting out Sola. I see Sola here in our YouTube chat right now. Shout out to Crazy Sola, one of our PvP players yesterday for the 1v1s, who bagged the top prize as the top solo player during the matches yesterday. So again, shout out to Crazy Sola. We do have some people who are talking about Cloud Strider. Now, Cloud Strider, we did see a few of them yesterday, especially during the PvP. They did have a hard time. I'll admit, the Gunners absolutely dominated the PvPs, as well as our Scytheguard player. But of course, there's still a lot that is happening in Crystal of Atlan. So many adjustments being made. So you never know what we're seeing in the coming weeks. We do have some people talking about the Gunners yesterday being really hard to counter. I think we did see our Starbreaker player from Team Indonesia, Exra, did a really, really good job in countering the Gunner players by just walking up to them, making sure they don't have enough space to charge up any of their abilities and have that freedom of movement. I think it wasn't just Exra. I also believe we did have our Warlock player. I believe it was Eno. I think they were also from Team Indonesia who was doing a similar approach. So props to them, of course, for showing us how to take down the Gunners. But I think now we can definitely see the Gunners are doing really big damage when it comes to team output. But that's going to be it for me for now. We're going to be jumping straight into game number 2. All right, like we said earlier, we're now moving back in to Team Indonesia and Team Taiwan. So this is the first teams that we have representing their region. All right, looking here from a little bit of a further angle, both teams are kind of just feeling each other out. No one making that first move. A couple of mid-range attacks going into Lonely. Lonely does sustain a little bit of damage there, but of course, being that Berserker, he's going to have no problem tanking a little bit of that damage. Well, 2 does go in Shu as well. Shu does seem very confident in the way that he's walking up to Team Indonesia. Kaijin taking quite a bit of damage there. Our Warlock player in a little bit of trouble. But Team Indonesia doesn't seem too fazed by it right now. Warlock ultimate does hit a couple of players from Team Taiwan. Milu Bear making sure he doesn't get hit by any of the AoE abilities being left behind by Team Ads, but right now we have a little bit of skirmish here by one of the towers. Lonely being brought down to just a third of his HP. Everyone on Team Taiwan still relatively healthy in terms of HP. A couple of comets come down. Kaijin again in trouble once more. Looks like he's going to try to retreat, but the members of Team Taiwan are going to be locking him down. He's locked in the air. The Magician knocks him up once again. Kaijin running for his life now. All the members of Team Taiwan looking to hunt him down. Lonely doing a good job of isolating a member of Team Taiwan, but Kaijin in trouble once again. It doesn't look like he's escaping this one. Kaijin is going to go down for Team Ads. It's Lonely and Scatty left here. It's going to be pretty hard for them to go up against Team Taiwan in this 2v3. Lonely dangerously low now. And both of them just backed here into this corner. The members of Team Taiwan just dishing out damage slowly, weaving in and out. Kaijin and Lonely are now down here for Team Indonesia. All that's left is Scatty. He's gonna try to run away here using his invisibility rather. But of course the members of Team Orange GD are not gonna let him get away. He gets stun locked, and unfortunately that is gonna be it for Team Indonesia. Team Taiwan bags 1 point for their team. I think we did see a little bit of a different strategy here for Team Taiwan. Earlier, we did see kind of like a more spread out battle, everyone just kind of throwing skill shots and abilities at each other. But here, I think Team Taiwan, they have shown us yesterday in the PvE time trials, they are a very aggressive team when they are working together. And just like you saw here, they did a lot of lockdowns on the individual members of Team Indonesia, which I think, again, pretty good strategy. You could see it does cause a little bit of panic in the members of Team Indonesia, especially when one person gets isolated, they get locked down, and all the damage is just dished out onto them. So props to Team Taiwan and what they did there. You could even see in the end, they were just doing their best not to take any more damage than was necessary, even though they were 1v3 at that point. But that is going to be our first 2 points are going to be going to Team Philippines with Team Exodiac, and of course, Team Taiwan, Orange GD, securing the first 2 wins for their country. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, our squads here, we have 2 squads per country. So, of course, the squad in the team that scores the most points is going to be getting that additional prize of $3,000 US. So, of course, even though we have 2 teams from the same country, they're going to try to one-up each other to make sure that they secure that sweet prize at the end of the day. Now we have some people who are waiting for VYs. Again, we have a lot of fans for VYs in the chat. Team Taiwan with, again, really, some people are pointing out how they're really good with their aerial control. And again, I think one core mechanic rather, of Crystal of Atlan is the aerial combo and the dodge system that they have. We have seen some players utilizing it really, really well. Of course, when you're able to take up vertical space, not just horizontal space on the arena, it does give you a little bit more freedom of movement to reposition and make sure that you land your combos the way that you want them to. So props to the players that have already kind of have a mastery over that here so early in the game as well. The game is still relatively new as well. So again, these players are just showing how quick their improvement and mastery of the game is in just a short time. But we have game 3 ready to queue, so let's go back to Team Thailand and Team Philippines. All right, representing the Pirate Crew and Exodiac, once again, we have the other 2 teams now of our respective countries. Now we have Myrtle here on her team, our team captain for Team Philippines. Tanoshi rocking that Starbreaker, Byrain rocking the Elementalist and our Magiblade with Ardent Blue. We also have another Starbreaker and Elementalist for Team Philippines with Cranberry and Master Devs respectively. Now again, everyone just doing a little bit of weaving in and out for these early skirmishes. Myrtle does take quite a bit of damage. Our players from Team Thailand do seem to be locking her down. Of course, going for the gunner is a very strong strategy. Being a class that has a little bit less mobility compared to others, it is smart to target it. But of course, Myrtle not going to be taking that sitting down. She gets healed, backs off from Team Thailand. Tanoshi now going to be taking a pretty big hit there. Myrtle being locked down by 2 members of Team Thailand, but Team Philippines is doing the same to Byrain. Byrain taking a bit of damage themselves. Myrtle repositioning by also setting fire to the arena, but unfortunately Myrtle is going to go down. 2v3 now between the Pirate Crew and Exodiac. It's going to be our Starbreaker and Elementalist versus the Pirate Crew. Cranberry does take a bit of damage there. Ardent Blue doing a really good job of managing their cooldowns. Looks like they're going to be locking in Master Devs first, while Ardent Blue and Cranberry get 1v1, but Cranberry unfortunately gets mixed into the pit in the middle. Master Devs trying to support Cranberry here, but Cranberry is very dangerously low. It may look like Cranberry is down for the count. It's a 1v3 now for Team Exodiac and the Pirate Crew. Master Devs trying to hold their own here. Really good stun as he tries to reposition, waiting for his cooldowns to come up. He is doing a little bit of peel damage as he's walking away, just kiting everyone with the abilities that he does have, but unfortunately it is going to be an aerial combo for him. Master Dev's 1 HP left, and that Cyclone is gonna sweep him up, and that is point to the pirate crew for Team Thailand. So, a little bit of a revenge point here for Team Thailand. It's now equalized 1-1 between Team Philippines and Team Thailand. We now have 3 matches underway, already done here for the 3v3. But of course, our teams still have 7 more matches each. Again, a really good effort here from Team Philippines. They did try to dish out a lot of damage on the Starbreaker of Team Thailand initially. But again, Team Thailand utilizing the similar strategy to Team Taiwan, just locking down one of the more vulnerable classes, especially our longer range classes, locking them down, dealing as much damage as they can to a single target, and just absolutely melting them where they can. But again, nice try, of course, to Team Philippines. They still have a couple more matches left to go. But up next, of course, we're going to be going back to Team Indonesia and Team Taiwan. And this time, we're going to be taking a look at the other 2 teams representing their respective countries here in this 3v3 PvP. Now, we do have some people asking if the same job on one team should be prohibited. I believe it is up to the teams on how they want to strategize, of course, how they would like to arrange their teams. So, of course, depending on what they've decided prior to the tournament and what they've practiced, I'm pretty sure our teams have discussed this in what they want to be bringing out. So, I think we can definitely trust their skills and prowess here when it comes to putting together their teams. So, again, we'll have to see what they want to be bringing out. I don't think they're going to be changing classes throughout these 3v3s. So the classes that you see now are probably what you're going to be seeing throughout the rest of these matches. I think there are still 6 players that we do not know what they're going to be bringing in because we haven't seen what they're playing. But so far, it does look like we have a lot of elementalists. We do have, I think, 2 scythe guards that we've been seeing brought out so far. We have a couple of gunners as well. And surprisingly, a lot of starbreakers here for the 3v3. I was honestly expecting a lot more AoE characters, like maybe a magician, maybe a blade maiden as well, but surprisingly that is not going to be the case here. So a lot of these single target, maybe more of the lockdown type of classes as well. I think that maybe makes sense in the Starbreaker because the Starbreaker is able to parry as well as grab a unit and kind of just lock them down for a few seconds, which again gives you such valuable time for when you want to make sure that all your abilities hit, especially when you do have gunners on your team. I do see, however, there are some people who are talking about bounty hunters. Don't worry, we see you, as well as the Magiblade. We have seen the Magiblade as well. But of course, bounty hunters, we saw them yesterday. Don't know if we're going to be seeing one in our next match. But in just a second, we're going to be going into game number 4 here for our 3v3s. And of course, game number 4 out of 24 matches. So still a lot of time for redemption. I think our teams are definitely going to be thinking about re-strategizing. But now we have game number 4, so let's jump right in. All right, returning now to Team Indonesia and Team Taiwan, Team Ads and Team Orange GD. We have a 5th now here, as well as Orange himself. So 2 of our team captains are in this matchup. All right, everyone just going straight for it. Minimal damage so far. Looks like Mithril, our Starbreaker for Team Indonesia, takes quite a hit, but is going to be healed right back up. Our gunner here for the side of Team Orange, I believe that this is Tomorrow who is playing. Our POV is with Tomorrow. Very aggressive in his approach, not afraid to get up in the front, but Mithril is going to punish him for walking up. He gets traded back by Tomorrow. Tomorrow, no cooldowns available. Both teams just making sure they charge up. Mithril just going straight for it. Again, the Disrupt does cause Tomorrow to not be able to dish out any of their abilities. Mithril once again taking them on in a 2v1. Really good lockdown here. Manages to grab Orange. Orange's teammates trying to come in for the support, but the AoE damage is going to punish them as they try to lend a hand. Our Sarthguard now down to half HP, as well as Orange himself. Looks like Team Taiwan are a little bit backed into a corner here. Maybe dangerous for them as they group up like that. The Scythe Guard is is going to be taking advantage of that opportunity. Team Taiwan, again, negating the damage. Our gunner player here tomorrow brings out the flamethrower. Goonie, maintaining a safe distance. Of course, our Cloud Strider, but Mithril, really good engage there, locks down 3 members of Team Orange GD. It looks like Orange is going to be down for the count. Mithril once again doing an excellent job of locking down these players. Tomorrow, back in the corner, but Mithril isn't going to give him any room to breathe. Big AoE attack coming in from Goonie. Gonna be knocked up in response, but our Strike Guard player is gonna be down as well. It's tomorrow against everyone else on Team Indonesia. Doing his best to kite them while he can. Jumps up in the air, but unfortunately he's gonna be stun locked there. A flurry of abilities comes out, and just like that, game on number 4 goes to Team Ads. And there we have it. Again, another trade back between the countries. Each team now has 1 point under their belt. I do want to give a shout out, of course, to our Starbreaker player, Mithril, of course, doing an excellent job in what he had to do, of course, going in, locking down enemies. I think there were even moments where he caught 2 or 3 people at the same time, making it so easy for his teammates to follow up and dish out the damage that they had to do. And of course, in a game like Crystal of Atlan, we know that managing your cooldowns and making sure that you deal a big amount of damage in a short amount of time is so crucial, and having a Starbreaker player like Mithril definitely gets the job done. So really good job to Team Indonesia so far, and I'm again looking really promising for the way that our players have prepped going into these games. But of course, up next we are going to be having a repeat of our 2 team countries earlier. We're going to be going into match number 5, but it's going to be Team Thailand, I believe, versus Team Taiwan this time around. So again, new set of faces. Don't know what's going to happen, but now the scores have been evened. So now it is basically a clean slate for everyone once again. We do have some people talking about the Starbreaker. I do see we have a growing Starbreaker community here in the YouTube chat. It's really fun to watch the Starbreaker. It's really cool to watch them down. Exactly. The Starbreaker's job is to disrupt the enemy and peel for the team. Exactly. And I think Mithril did an excellent job of that. But of course, Team Taiwan did an excellent job. But now we're going to be jumping straight into match number 5. All right, now we are going to Team Thailand versus Team Indonesia, but of course it's the other team for Team Indonesia. It is going to be Lonely, Scatty, and Kaijin this time. All right, Kaze, of course, is our Warlock player. We have a Berserker as well as a Magician. Pang Sampong, our team captain for Team Thailand, is also in this squad as well. Kaijin, K is going to be looking like they're locked down. Pang Sampong is being tailed by another member of Team Ads. It looks like Lonely, however, is going to be locked down in that corner. K's trying to disrupt a little bit of the fight, breaking it up. But Chinono's going to take advantage of it. K's having nothing to respond with. Chinono's dishes out some free damage there. Everyone now backing off for the reset. Our Scythe Guard taking up space in the middle, forcing the players of Team Indonesia to back up into the corner. This may look dangerous for them as our Cloud Strider does try to make an approach, but Patu unable to catch anyone out there. Alright, looks like they're both trying to feel for each other now. Lonely is going to be jumping in on Team Thailand, but Patu is going to be trading back by jumping straight in on K's. Pang Sampong will throw out an electric ball. And Scotty, unfortunately, not going to be hitting anyone with that ultimate. K's dealing a good amount of damage to Pang Sampong, but it doesn't look like it's going to chip her too much. Of course, with our Scythe Guard player, our Scythe Guard is making it really, really hard for anyone to really have any permanent damage. For our, if we could say, really good sustain, of course, to have a Scythe Guard in your team. Pang Sampong is able to take a little bit of damage here and there, but of course thanks to the Scythe Guard she's able to heal it right back up. But this time, it is gonna look like a sizable amount. Not so easily healed. K is down to half HP. Our Magician playing safely in the back. Hatu does get locked up for a couple of seconds there. But, of course, it looks like Team Indonesia isn't able to capitalize on all of these lockdowns that they're able to do. Unfortunately, Lonely is going to be going down. Our frontliner here for Team Indonesia. Our Berserker player is down for the count. Gonna make it very hard for our two Magister classes to be able to front any of this damage. Hatu, thinking he can go on the aggressive, gets knocked down. Animation cancelled. Chinonos and Pang Sampong trying to do a little bit of mid-range damage to just poke them out. But of course, Scatty trying to make sure that he can at least poke them from afar. The bouncing balls come out, knocks them back just a little bit. Kaijin, unfortunately, going to be locked in and isolated all alone. Scatty is going to be the only one left for his team. The members of Pirate Crew are going to be wasting no time in trying to get him down, but Patu does take note of the decoy. Pang Sampong as well. Scatty going to be trying to take out Pang himself. Ultimate, not going to be connecting. The knockup comes in, he gets backed into the wall. Straight combo. But Scatty is not dead yet. He's going to be doing whatever he can with the last of his health, but unfortunately not going to be taking down anyone with him. And point now goes to Team Thailand. 2 points now under the country's belt. Now again, we have seen the brackets. They have shuffled a little bit. I mean, the round robin rather. We have seen now Team Thailand and Team Indonesia have made first contact with each other. And Team Thailand showing just how strong they are in this Super Show match. Very commanding victory for them here. We can definitely say that they did a good job of not taking any unnecessary fights. As you can see, if they weren't able to hit any of those skill shots or any of the entrances, if they would fail, they would back off, make sure to regroup before trying once again. But here, Lonely, of course, our Berserker player, they did take advantage of a lot of these solo entrances that they made. And unfortunately, that did cost them here in this match. But that was match number 5. We still have a good 19 matches to go. But so far, I do want to ask you guys have been talking about the classes that we've been seeing. Who do you think have been using their classes the best so far? We did see our Starbreaker player, but I think here, honestly, it's really nice to see that our Cloud Striders are also showing up here in these 3v3 matches. Again, the mid-range attacks that they're able to do, and also just kind of going a little bit more aggressively, kind of just shows how free-flowing the Cloud Strider class is, especially with that vertical movement. We could see the way that our players were able to just weave in and out of combat and reposition whenever they're trying to get out of enemy abilities. So again, really good use, really good utilization of the abilities of the Cloud Strider. A lot of versatility, to be honest. I agree with that take as well. I think that a lot of these classes, especially the ones with mobility, do offer a lot more, especially in moments like this. When we have classes with a lot of AoE abilities, it's really difficult to dodge. But game number 6 is underway, so let's just jump right in. Alright, now we are back with Team Exodiac and Team Orange GD. We are now back with the VUIs as well as Renala on the Cloud Strider up against Team Orange GD. Now earlier, each of these teams did score 1 point each, so now it is going to be a question of who takes down the first blood. Alright, looks like Team Taiwan did sustain a bit of damage. It was healed back up very quickly. Get Me does take a bit of a beating from our Elementalist. Venus and Renala, very aggressive in the way they're fighting. Venus, our gunner here, walking straight up into the melee players of Team Taiwan. Again, very aggressive, very unconventional, but of course, leave it to Venus to pull it off. Renala backed into a corner, but Venus is here for the support. Wise joining in as well. Get Me is going to be trying to isolate Wise from the rest of their teammates. Milu Bear trying to lock down Venus. Wise looking to be in a little bit of trouble here, as Milu Bear and Orange try to take him on in a 2v1. A lot of knockups come in the middle. Good dodge here from Milu Bear. Cooldowns down for both teams, but it looks like Team Taiwan is looking for an aggressive approach here. Looks like they're going to be trying to take down. It looks like Wise first. Our Elementalist locked into the corner. Renala coming in for the support. Get Me and Milu still on Wise's tail, but Renala is going to be punishing the team captain of Team Taiwan. Unfortunately, Wise is going to be going down first for Team Philippines. Renala locked into a little bit of a combo themselves, but Venus answering back, letting them know that there's still a threat in the arena. Both team members for Team Philippines below half HP. It's looking really dangerous for them, but of course, they're not letting that stop them just yet. Venus making sure that the members of Team Taiwan don't have a lot of freedom of movement with that fire tick, but Venus is going to be locked down by our Magiblade player here in the corner. The cooldowns chained very well here. Unfortunately, Venus is going to be locked in there. Stunlock followed by the Warlock rather. The Elementalist correction, but that is going to be Venus going down. All that's left is Renala, but with one swift hit from Orange, our team captain is going to be taking another win for Team Taiwan. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Team Taiwan, again, a very, very strong victory here against Team Exodiac. We did see, of course, I think that Team Taiwan has been a little bit more, I would say, they've been doing a lot of duo strategies as well. If you've been noticing, our two Magibae players are kind of going in on each other. Whenever one person's cooldown is off, the other one picks it up and just continues the combo from there, making sure that they don't drop any of the knockups. But of course, really good effort from Team Exodiac. We did see till the very, very end, Venus and Renala were doing their very best to peel for themselves and wait for their cooldowns, even though Wise and was left them for the 2v3. But of course, that is going to be game here for match number 6. Good job, of course, to Team Taiwan. That is going to be about 1/8 of the matches so far. We still have another 1/7 of an eighth to go. But of course, you guys, so far, we have been talking about the Magiblade being a very, very strong class here in the PvP. And as you can see, the way that it was utilized by Team Taiwan, when the Magiblade players are able to layer their cooldowns on top of each other, it is an unstoppable combo if they're able to pull it off just right. Now, we do have some people asking about the codes. The codes are going to be dropping during the break that we're going to be having later in the middle of our matches. So between the 24 matches after match number 12, we're going to be going to a very short break. So make sure to keep your eyes glued to this part of the screen during the break when the codes show up. And of course, we do have some exclusive item codes that are only available in this stream, so make sure that you don't miss them. Now, we do have some people talking about the combos. The combos coming in from Team Taiwan. Yes, they're making a really good use of the Magiblade once again. If you guys aren't familiar with the Magiblade class, if you are playing other classes perhaps, it is a very fast combo-heavy magic melee hybrid. And this one really requires on making sure that you're able to manage your cooldown resets on a lot of your key skills. So if you notice, there are a lot of slash abilities that keep people knocked up in the air, similar to just kind of stun locking them in the air and making them unable to answer back. That's what our Team Taiwan players did, and it was really well executed. But right now, we're going to be jumping straight in to match number 7. All right, now we have the Pirate Crew once again versus Team Indonesia. For this lineup, we have our Magiblade player and Tanoshi as the Starbreaker, as well as B-Rain as our Elementalist. And for the other side, we have Mithril again, our highlight Starbreaker player from earlier, Goonie, and a fifth, our team captain from Team Ads. Also, a little bit of a note. Right now, the pirate crew from Team Thailand, we do have someone who is the top 3 in the Thai server. We're gonna hear very soon about which player this might be. Again, yesterday we did have our top 1 Scytheguard player joining us for the 1v1 PvPs, but now I believe all 3 of them rather from pirate crew. So Tanoshi, Arden Blue, and Bahrain are all top 3 in the Thai server. So again, a really tough team to beat here, but let's see if they can prove themselves here against Team Ads. Mithril gonna be taking a bit of a beating here. A fifth ultimate is not gonna be hitting anyone. Mithril in a little bit of trouble, eating a lot of those comets there. Bahrain keeping their distance, not taking any unnecessary damage before they lock in on Mithril. Mithril looks like they're going to be taken down first. It's up to Goonie and a fifth from Team Indonesia. Goonie going to be locked in, and the rest of the members of the pirate crew are going to be capitalizing on that time in the air. Goonie now dangerously low. Doesn't give them a lot of freedom of movement. Goonie is going to be going down. All that's left is a fifth, the captain, the king. They protected him for as long as they could. He tries to run away, but a couple of comets from the sky are going to be shooting him out of it. And just like that, this match goes to Team Thailand. And again, we were talking about this earlier. Team Thailand, 3 of these players are top 3 in their respective servers. So it was a very intimidating team to go up against like this. It's definitely one of the teams that the others have to look out for. And you could just see how cleanly they executed this 3v3 match against Team Indonesia. Of course, props to Team Indonesia. I think that they had a lot of good efforts, and we did see some things they tried to execute. But of course, at the end of the day, this one is going to be going to Team Thailand. Now in the comments, I think we have some people talking about the Magiblade. We have a lot of Magiblade players in the Facebook chat as well. Some people talking about the Starbreakers as well. Very clean combos. I have to agree with you as well. All of our players here, of course, in this Super Showmatch, our KOLs, our content creators, made sure that they picked some of the best players in their respective servers. So it's no surprise here that we do see a lot of the top players from each respective team. I believe from Team Philippines, we also had Joey TV, who is one of the top players for our respective server. For Team Thailand, of course, we just met them, as well as a few players from yesterday. There are some people who are asking about the Berserker. I do believe we have 2 Berserker players in a few of these teams. Of course, they're all under the same banner. But we'll be seeing them. I believe they're going to be the ones up next. It's the Berserker and a Warlock team, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, shout out, of course, to everyone who is dropping their favorite classes in the chat. I think it's really nice that everyone is just kind of just finding little friends here in the chat, seeing anyone with similar classes and stuff. So I hope you guys have been enjoying Crystal of Atlan so far. And of course, I want to ask you guys, which one do you prefer doing more, the PvP side of things or the PvE? Because I know there are some people who like different aspects when it comes to MMOs. There are people who like to be a little bit sweaty in the PvP arenas. But of course, those of us who like to grind out materials and farming enjoy PvE a little bit more. So just let us know in the comments. I think there are some people who are talking about the way that they build their characters. And of course, there's still a lot more updates coming in the future, new sets that are going to be available very soon. But we have some people now dropping their favorite classes, favorite game modes, PvP, PvE as well. But of course, that's the beauty of MMO at the end of the day. Everyone has that part of the game that they prefer more than the other. Some people say both. Totally understandable. You can like both too. PvE, PvP, PvE to show my damage. Well, that's true. If you guys are the type to also get that big number screenshot, I know we have a lot of those, especially when it comes to how you layer your abilities. That's probably going to be done in PvE. All right, we have our next match underway, so let's go and meet our players. Alright, it doesn't look like it's gonna be our Berserker player again. It's going to be Myrtle here with Team Exodiac together with Cranberry and Master Devs. And for Team Taiwan, we have Yula Bear tomorrow, as well as, I believe, one of their sub-players. Together with Orange, their team captains. So team captains here for Team Taiwan and Team Philippines going neck and neck against each other. Ooh! Our team captain here for Team Taiwan going to be sustaining a bit of damage. It looks like both teams are targeting each team's captain. Orange, however, is going to be the one receiving most of the damage from Team Philippines. Myrtle healing in the back. Master Devs, really good front lining here with that ultimate. Cranberry trying to weave in as well. Looks like they're going to be locking down one. Master Devs follows up. Manages to hit all the big. Myrtle with the flamethrower as well. Unfortunately going to be cancelled out by the members of Team Taiwan, who are also going to be locking down Cranberry and Master Devs. It's looking really, really close. They trade back blows. But that Scytheguard player going to be healing up tomorrow just before they go down. Myrtle now sending a blow from behind. Cranberry is trying to isolate one of the members here. Looks like tomorrow is going to be in a bit of trouble. The other two players of Team Taiwan and Team Philippines are going at it in this corner, but Team Taiwan has regrouped as three, while Cranberry is going to be locking down the team captain of Team Orange once again. Master Devs almost goes down, gets a quick heal just in time. And now our Scytheguard player here for Team Orange GD looking dangerously slow. Myrtle unfortunately does get caught in a little bit of the crossfire. She does retreat just in time. Orange is gonna try and tail her down. Master Devs tries to walk up, have a little bit of aggro, making sure they don't take down Myrtle. Everyone very, very low now. This match is looking pretty close. Myrtle looks like she's gonna be going down first, followed by Orange here. Both of our team captains are down. Master Devs and Cranberry gonna be trying to lock down onto this one member here, Yecha from Team Orange GD. Looks like that is going to be working out. They take out Tomorrow rather, and now the last member of Team Taiwan does go down, and we have redemption here for Team Exodiac from the Philippines. Well played here to Team Philippines. This one, I think this was probably one of our closest matches in the 3v3 so far. I think that they did a really good job making sure that no one was left alone for too long. I think really a big shout out here to Master Devs for being a really good frontliner and making sure that he showed a lot of presence to make sure that none of the members of Team Taiwan jumped on any of his teammates. But of course, Team Taiwan, really good locking down on all of the members of Team Philippines. You can definitely see they are a team that is not afraid to walk up and just be a lot more forward in their approach. But again, Team Philippines, really good teamwork from them, as you can see so far, as well as Cranberry, I believe. They had a really good teamwork. And Myrtle, of course, utilizing the time and space given to her by her teammates, was able to dish out so much damage from the back line. And in a 3v3 like this, it's really important that you're able to make sure that your team is able to fight from front to back, so your back line is safe while your front line just soaks up and deals all of the extra damage. Now we have some people talking about the scores so far. So yes, Team Philippines, they do have 2 points under their belt, but now we have game number 9, so let's just jump straight in. All right, now once again, we are back to Team Thailand and Team Taiwan, the Pirate Crew, and Team Orange GD. It's the other team now for Team Orange GD, but now we have our team captain back again for Team Thailand. All right, it looks like everyone is very warmed up from the first few matches. Earlier, everyone was too shy to just walk up and kind of just go at it with each other. But now, as you can see in this match, everyone is just going for it. It's a really bloody battle now. Everyone just shooting out whatever they can while it's up. It looks like Pang Sampong is going to be taking a bit of damage alone here, but I think her teammates are trading back pretty effectively Team Orange GD does recover a lot of the lost HP. It's Patu keeping their distance. Right now, both teams are kind of just trying to chase each other down, deal what they can. Get Me does a nice parry there. Negates a lot of the incoming damage. Pang Sampong unfortunately going to be locked in that corner. She dashes away. But one member here of Team Taiwan is not going to be letting her have a break. Pang Sampong looks like she's going to be going down for the count sometime soon. She manages to escape just in time. Hopefully the Scythe Guard can give her a heal. The heal does go through. But all of the members of the pirate crew are going to be locked into that ability from our Elementalist and Magiblade. The lockdown is much too strong for them to deal with. Get Me tries to go on Pang Sampong once again, but goes for Chinonos instead. Pang now down for the count. Our Scytheblade player and Chinonos has locked down our Elementalist here in the corner. But our two Magiblade players are doing excellent work of making sure that no one can answer back. Chinonos stun locked once again. Our Scythe Guard knocking them back, trying to give them a little bit of ground to recover. They're dashing away, but unfortunately Pato is going to be going down, and it looks like Chinonos is going to be going down with them. This match is going to be going to Team Taiwan once again with our double Magiblade duo with their Elementalist player. Again, really strong showing, but I think here they did come a little bit closer in terms of how they dealt with the Magiblade players. Of course, it is pretty difficult, but we have noticed here, if you do isolate these Magiblade players, you can counter them just a little bit. But unfortunately, that is going to be a loss for Team Thailand and a win here for Team Taiwan. I think these two teams have been very competitive in their showing so far, not just in the 3v3s, but also in the 1v1s and in the time trials yesterday. So really exciting to see how things are going to ramp up in our second half of the 3v3s. But of course, we're still in the first half of our Super Showmatch matches today, so it's a little bit too early to tell. And now, I think there are people talking about teamwork. Yep. A lot of teamwork happening here. We can see it isn't just about throwing your abilities recklessly and making sure that something works or something hits, but everyone is making sure that they time everything really well and making sure that nothing is going to waste in terms of abilities and things that are cast. Because a lot of these abilities, we do have some characters here with 15-second cooldowns. There's even a 30-second cooldown, 8-second cooldowns, and that time really matters, especially if your opponent is able to answer back. So really good job so far from our teams. But for you guys so far, I want to ask you guys in the comments, in the chat, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, who do you think is performing the best so far? Which teams have the highest scores so far? And which country do you think is going to be taking home the win today for our 3v3s? Of course, again, we have two sets of prizes here today. The country, the team that takes home the highest number of wins, and of course, the individual team that takes home the highest wins as well. But our next game is ready, so here we go. All right, now we're back with Team Zodiac from the Philippines and Team Ads from Indonesia. We have our Berserker and a Warlock and Magician here for Team Indonesia. Very refreshing to see. But for Team Philippines, Team Zodiac, we do have V-Wise back in the arena once again, together with Renala. Looks like they're going to be trying to go for redemption here, recovering from a loss earlier. They go in for a really big opening engage on K's here. K's recovering a lot of the HP that he's losing. Looks a little bit too fast for comfort, too close for comfort for K's here with the way that he's trading blows. But Venus is going to be in a similar scenario. Gets healed up though. Venus just poking a little bit with that flamethrower. All of the members of Team Indonesia grouping up in one corner, while the members of Team Philippines trying to spread out a little bit more. All right, both teams going in for that engage. Our gunner player, Venus, does an excellent job of marking the battlefield, making it really difficult for Team Indonesia to move without taking damage. Renala, of course, our Cloud Strider, dashes up above his opponent. Nothing is going to be hitting, however. Venus does look like they are in a bit of trouble, being ganged up on by all members of Team Indonesia. Wise, going in the middle of all three members, leaves a present there for K's. Backs off to recharge his abilities, throws in another one. And Venus, looks like they're going to be chasing down K's once again. It looks like they're going to be focusing the Warlock player here from Team Ads, while Lonely and Scatty are just trying to find their footing and how to approach the members of Team Philippines, who are repositioning very, very quickly here. Scatty just sent out an ultimate. Lonely trying to lock down Venus, but Wise is going to be protecting them, making sure to cover his DPS. Renala going to be locked up by Lonely, but Lonely, of course, playing with a really low HP, just barely misses the missile sent from Venus. Goes in for a little blade spin. Scatty trying to body block for Lonely. Unfortunately, it isn't going to work. Lonely gets taken down together with Kate, so all that's left is Scatty for Team Ads. And I think Team Zodiac doing their best to take him down without losing a member. But Scatty, of course, the Magician class, is able to do a lot of self-heal for themselves. Unfortunately, does get knocked up. It doesn't look like they're going to be escaping this one. Tries to dash away, but does get staggered and locked in, and this point goes to Team Zodiac. Really good job here from Team Zodiac, especially with the way that they took up space in the arena. As you can see, they had a lot of control here. You could see the members of Team Indonesia were kind of forced into these corners where they had to take the brunt of the damage from a lot of what Venus and Renala were sending their way. And of course, Wise doing an excellent job of covering for their DPSs here, jumping in whenever the members of Team Indonesia were jumping on the likes of Venus. But of course, Team Indonesia, they do have a lot of these classes with a lot of great peeling potential. Of course, the Berserker as well, able to soak up so much damage. Unfortunately, the early damage taken by our Warlock player here, and of course our Berserker getting locked down, it was too much to handle here for Team Ads. But of course, this was thanks to really good strategy coming in from Team Philippines, but GG's, of course, to both teams, and nice try as well. We still have a lot more matches underway. I believe we still have a few more matches left here for the first half of our 3v3s. But so far, of course, I want to ask you guys, I think earlier we didn't get to do it earlier, but so far, who do you think is in the lead in these 3v3s? Is it Team Philippines? Is it Team Indonesia? Is it Team Thailand? Team Taiwan? Let me know in the comments below on YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok. I think we do have some people who are talking about the melee characters and how they're doing surprisingly pretty well against a lot of these ranged characters. And I think here in Crystal of Atlan, they do a really good job of balancing out these classes. There are a lot of melee abilities, but they give them some mid-range ones as well, just to kind of give them that extra footing and equalizing the battlefield a little bit, especially when it comes to abilities. Because, of course, if you're staggered and you can't walk up to your opponent, it makes it really, really difficult to try to trade in blows. So really good use of the way that our players are making use of these abilities and weaving them in. And of course, everyone has a different configuration for their respective class. Everyone can choose the different abilities that they want to use. So again, everyone has been playing to their own strengths. And I think what we've been seeing here has been pretty good strategy from our teams so far. As you can see, a lot of our teams, it's been pretty balanced, I would say. Of course, we have a lot of notable strategy coming in from Taiwan and Thailand, but we're going to have to see what they bring us in our next match. Alright, now we are back with Team Thailand and Team Taiwan here with the Pirate Crew and Orange GG. We do have a question in chat about the Blade Maiden. We did see a Blade Maiden player yesterday during the time trials, but here today it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any Blade Maidens today. We do have some people also talking about the double Magic Blade team having no losses yet, so again, does look like one of the top contenders for our solo prize, our solo team prize. Now, first minute in here for both of these teams. It looks like Team Taiwan is going to be taking a lot more of a beating here compared to Team Thailand. Our Scythe Guard and Magic Blade player are in a little bit of trouble here. Our Gunner as well. And actually, very quickly, the Pirate Crew just commanded so much of the fight in that last skirmish. The Scythe Guard player for Team Taiwan unfortunately unable to recover in time, and I think this actually might be them. Ardent Blue is going to be locking them down, catches them mid-sprint, knocks them up in the air, and is just stun locking them. Both of our Magic Blade players showing no mercy to the Scythe Guard here in Team Taiwan. Team Taiwan now is trying to manage themselves, trying to pace themselves here, recover where they can, but things are looking pretty grim for them. Again, these players here from the Pirate Crew are the top 3 in their server for all of their classes respectively, so again, a very tough team to deal with. But unfortunately, our team captain here for Team Taiwan is going to be going down, and our final member here looks like they are going to be joining them very, very soon. A little dodge there behind the tower isn't going to save them, and our Gunner player does get taken down with another point being awarded to the Pirate Crew of Team Thailand. Now, I do want to note, again, I can't say for certain, but I think that this team from Team Thailand also has no losses so far. So going to be really interesting to see how this team and the Magic Blade team go up once again in a head-to-head. We'll finally see who's able to take the other down. But of course, the excellent use of the Magic Blade, of course, in isolating these fights and just knocking up one member of a team and just separating them from the rest of the group has definitely been a very disruptive strategy in these PvP matches so far. If you notice just now, there was one, the Scythe Guard player was not able to support their team properly because the Magic Blade player was able to just knock them up for, I think, a good 20 seconds in a one corner of the battlefield. So again, excellent job here from our Magic Blade player here from the Pirate Crew. But of course, for Team Taiwan, they have been showing a lot of skill, especially in their other team, the Magic Blade team. So we're going to see how they're able to equalize in terms of points moving forward in the tournament. There are a lot of people saying that Thailand is cooking. Yes, they definitely are. We have been seeing, especially, we did notice earlier, our Starbreaker players from Team Thailand have doing a really good job of locking down players, as well as Team Indonesia. So our Starbreaker players have definitely been some of the MVPs in these 3v3 PvPs. So again, if you guys are thinking about what classes to bring to PvPs like this, take notes. You know, we've got our Starbreakers here doing a really good lockdown, of course, and engage. And of course, our Magic Blade players keeping people busy in the air. But right now, we've got our last match for the first half, so let's jump straight into it. All right. Now we're moving into match number 12 of the 3v3s. This is going to be our last match before the break, so if you guys are waiting for those codes, make sure that you stick around for them. But now we have Team Indonesia versus Team Philippines once again. Our 2 Starbreaker players are here. For one side, we have an Elementalist and a Cloud Strider, and on the other hand, we have an Elementalist as well with a Gunner. So a difference of the Cloud Strider and the Gunner here. Cranberry and Master Devs earlier did a really good tag team duo in keeping Myrtle safe and able to dish out damage, but it looks like now Team Ads is going to be very aggressive in locking down our Gunner player. Myrtle going to be sustaining quite a bit of damage, but Master Devs supporting her very closely. They're going to want to see how they can answer back. The members of Team Indonesia do separate, but one person seems to be on our Gunner's tail. Myrtle does try to reposition, but our Elementalist dash up into the air and send a couple of strikes her way. Myrtle setting the arena ablaze, creating space between themselves and Team Ads. Master Devs looking for an engage here. Unable to capture Goonie. Mithril as well. Manages to get one. Looks like Mithril does. Cranberry does get Mithril. Myrtle gonna be using that flamethrower, capitalizing on the opportunity created by her teammate. But a fifth, our other team captain, is gonna be trying to shake her off. Myrtle sending a lot of shots towards Goonie. Goonie tossed up in the air. And Myrtle looks like she has an ultimate coming down soon. Doesn't look like she's able to hit it. She actually manages to. Goonie looks very, very low. Mithril down as well. Goonie recovers just in time. 2 members left here for Team Ads. Cranberry doing an excellent job of managing the space between themselves and Goonie. And of course, Master Dev's excellent engage here onto Goonie. 1 member left here for Team Ads. It's a fifth, our team captain. He's gonna try to peel himself. The Elementalist, of course, with a lot of AoE ability. He gets caught, unfortunately, by Cranberry. Myrtle is gonna try to finish him off, and just like that, Team Exodiac is gonna be taking our final point in the first half of 3v3s. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Team Philippines, Team Exodiac is going to be taking that match. And of course, again, really excellent use of our 2 frontliners, as well as Myrtle, our gunner in the back, dishing out the damage. And of course, GG's to our other team here. Team Ads did an excellent job of spreading out the damage. But of course, unfortunately, this one is going to be going to Team Philippines. But now, let's take a look at our tally so far. So just to see where we are in the tournament, we have squad number 1 for Team Thailand with 1 point, and squad number 2 with 3 points under their belt. For Team Philippines, we have 2 points respectively for squad 1 and 2. So Team Thailand and Team Philippines are both tied for 4 points, with squad number 2 of the Pirate Crew being ahead as one of the contenders for our special prize. On the other hand, for Team Indonesia, we have 1 point under squad number 2 and 3 points for squad number 1 in Team Taiwan. So it looks like in this 3v3 matchup, Team Thailand and Team Philippines are definitely looking like some pretty strong contenders. But of course, that was just the first half of these 3v3s. We have 12 more matches to go, so anything can happen, honestly, in the remaining time that we have left. These teams can still rack up some points depending on who they go up against next. But we're going to be going on a very, very short break soon. So again, just to remind you guys, we have some special item codes that are going to be dropping in the chat and here on screen during the break. So again, make sure you don't miss them and you don't go anywhere when they drop. We'll see you guys very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, adventurers, welcome back to the Crystal of Atlan Super Showmatch. Once again, we are jumping into the second half of our 3v3 PvP matches. And earlier, you saw the scoreboard. Currently, we have Team Thailand and Team Philippines in the lead with 4 points each. But of course, we still have 12 more matches underway. So anything could happen here if someone goes on a crazy win streak. But in terms of squad, we do have squad number 2 from Team Thailand with 3 points under their belt, looking like the top contender for our special prize for today. But Team Philippines, both squads have 2 points under their belt each, so you never know if they could catch up. And for Team Taiwan, I believe we also have one team with 3 points as well. So again, things are looking pretty close, pretty heated right now, but we are going to be jumping straight into the second half in just a second. But before everything, we just want to thank you guys for being here once again and remind you guys of the upcoming collab with One Punch Man coming on June 26th. So make sure you guys are keeping up with the various pages of the Crystal of Atlan here on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. But let's just jump straight into match 13. All right, we're going to be jumping straight into the Pirate Crew versus Team Exodiac once again. Currently, these two teams have 4 points each, so they're trying to break a tie here. But we do have a very, very competitive between these two because we have two of these teams with 2 points under their belt right now. We have Myrtle and Pang Sampong, who are both the team captains of their respective teams, showing up here today. Both of them are playing the Gunner class as well. Right now, we have Pang Sampong taking up a lot of space in the air, shooting some shots at the other team captain, Myrtle, but she's going to be dodging them with very good precision. Master Devs tries to knock Patu out of the sky, but it's going to be him being knocked down instead. Chinonos also taking a couple of light hits from Myrtle, and everyone kind of looks like they're lost in their own little 1v1s. Everyone is trading blows. We see some people trading blows in the sky, some people trading blows in the ground. Patu gets knocked up. Master Devs and Myrtle are going to be regrouping with Cranberry. And now, Team Philippines, a little bit of a rough spot for them as they recover some HP. Patu going to try to lock down Master Devs, but Master Devs is going to recover HP very quickly. Cranberry also suffering a bit of a blow. Chinonos, their Scytheguard player, doing a really good job of maintaining everybody's HP, really providing that sustain for their team. Master Devs, though, is going to be just jumping straight in on Chinonos. Not going to be dishing out too much damage there as Chinonos does escape the blazing fire. Myrtle also looks like a prospective target here for the Pirate Crew. She does get locked down by Patu. She gets brought down dangerously low, but manages to escape just in time. But Pang Sampong is going to be chasing her down. Both of our gunners flying in the sky, but Myrtle manages to create the distance. Myrtle buying some time to regenerate, but Chinonos, our Scytheguard, is also in a very difficult spot themselves. Cooldowns still down for both teams. Patu is going to be trying to delay Team Philippines by fronting a bit of the damage for now, while Chinonos tries to recover, but Cranberry in that initiation does suffer a lot of damage, and Myrtle gets a sudden fatal blow here from the members of the Pirate Crew. Chinonos also goes down for them. It is a 2v2 situation, but in terms of HP, it looks like it's favoring Team Thailand as Cranberry goes down for Team Exodiac. 1v2 situation now for Master Devs. Master Devs so far in this tournament has shown just how good he is at knowing when to go in and out. Very good discipline with their approaches, and as an elementalist should be able to peel for themselves here. Just barely makes it out alive, gets the heal just in time, but Patu is gonna knock him up in the air with Pang Sampong shooting him in the sky, and Master Devs is gonna go down here. And the tiebreaker between these two teams is going to be going to Team Thailand, the Team Pirate Crew, led by Pang Sampong herself, dealing the fatal blow to the last member of Team Exodiac, their Master Devs. But of course, really good effort from Team Philippines. It was a very, very exciting match. I think a little bit more exciting with the little goose chase that we had with our gunners in the sky just now. But of course, we still have the other squads from these two teams who are going to be hashing it out. So they could still fight for redemption here and farm more points. But right now, currently, Team Thailand has 5 points. So again, top contender for the special prize and for the overall team prize here in our 3v3 matchup. But again, very well played to Team Philippines. They still have a chance to come back, but we're going to be jumping in to our other team representatives from Team Indonesia and Team Taiwan in just a second, who are again also showing a lot of promise, especially with our two Magivate players and our Starbreaker players, who are doing an excellent job of locking down people in these 3v3s. Now, looking at the comments, people are asking how the format of the tournament goes. It is a round-robin format, so every team is basically fighting each other at least once. So every team is going to meet once, battle each other, and they're just racking up points until the last match is played, and the most points at the end of all of the round-robin matches are played is determined as our winner. So far, looks like Team Thailand, but Philippines is only 1 point behind, followed by Team Taiwan and Team Indonesia, and there are still 11 matches left. So again, some of these teams could have a chance to come up, but right now, it's up to match number 14, so we're going to hop right in. Alright, just like we said earlier, it is going to be Team Indonesia versus Team Taiwan, Team Ads versus Team Orange GD. We have Lonely leading the charge, our Berserker player. He gets knocked back right away by Orange, our team captain here, for Team Orange GD. Little skirmish here in the middle as everyone just tries to feel out each other here in the initial 30 seconds. Lonely going to be taking quite a bit of damage there, but of course that does work in their favor, being lower on HP, but of course he does want to manage that shield. Members of Team Taiwan playing a little bit safe in the back. Our Magician player sends in a Cyclone. Doesn't look like it's going to be peeling off too much just yet. Lonely does get isolated, knocked up in the air by two of the members of Team Taiwan, but manages to escape. Members of Team Taiwan getting picked off and being dealt damage all alone. Unfortunately, their gunner is going to be sustaining quite a bit there. Heals it back up, but tries to answer back, not hitting anybody. Scatty gonna be trying to walk up. Scatty has been a very aggressive Magician player that we've seen in this tournament so far. So props to him, of course, for trying to play together with his Berserker. Our gunner for Team Taiwan, again down to half HP. Our Scythe Guard as well. K's trying to see where he can insert himself in the fight. Team Taiwan does look a little bit on the back foot this time. Now this is the first time we've seen Team Taiwan not go on the aggressive, but it seems that this team from Team Ads has actually found maybe the solution to how they want to approach the rest of their matches. They look a lot more coordinated this time. And now, looks like one big skirmish happening. The gunner of Team Taiwan gonna recover. Scatty is gonna be knocked up by the Magicblade player. Gets locked in for quite a few seconds, but the Magicblade player totally forgot about their other two teammates who may be going down as we speak. He notices them in the background and tries to lend support. Our Scythe Guard makes it out just in time. Our gunner as well. And both teams, again, very, very close in terms of HP. 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left on the clock. Our gunner and Scythe Guard dangerously low. Our Scythe Guard for Team Taiwan looks like it's going to be it for them. And unfortunately, they are going to be knocked out. 2 members left here for Team Orange GD. Scatty trying to deal a lot of AoE damage while Lonely goes in from behind. K's trying to answer back as Lonely takes down Tomorrow. All that's left now for the members of Team Taiwan is their captain. Shut-Eye Orange, left to fend for himself, gets knocked down. But of course, as a Magicblade player, does have a opportunity to answer back if he's able to knock them up. but again, the chances of that happening are very, very slim. And unfortunately, he's going to be caught in that cyclone, and that is going to be it for our team captain here. Shut Eye Orange gets taken down, and a point goes to Team Indonesia. Team Indonesia now with 2 points under their belt. Again, finding their footing here in the second half. 10 more matches to go. But interestingly enough, I believe that now this was the first time that we did see the members of Team Taiwan look a little bit more, I would say, maybe a little bit scattered in terms of the way they played, or rather Team Indonesia looking a lot more coordinated. They definitely felt a lot more confident in the way that they were approaching this fight. You could definitely see this has been the team that has shown us a lot of variety in their classes. Of course, we have our Magician, we have our, I believe, Berserker as well here. So it's really refreshing to see how they approach the PvP with this lineup of classes. And again, they've just shown us how they were able to pull it off, and I really hope that they're able to show us even more of this as the matches go on. I believe we still have them for 2 or 3 more matches moving forward. But of course, we do have our next matchup. We have VYs returning once again with Renala. And I believe they are really going up against the other team of Team Indonesia. So I think they are also recovering from a loss earlier. We're going to see how they try to come back from this. But right now, of course, our top contender is still Team Thailand. Now we have some people asking about the Magician. The Magician needing a good team to support it. Yep, the Magician definitely did have a good team. Really good balance of a frontliner with the Berserker, of course, and the Magician in the back line. But Scatty, our Magician player here, was pretty aggressive as well. We did notice sometimes where he would walk up and kind of throw out AoE abilities right in front of the members of Team Taiwan, which, again, very confident of him to do that, but at the same time was proven to be very rewarding as well. And props them also for taking out the Scythe Guard player, because in the end, the Scythe Guard player is going to give you that unending sustain, that unending healing support that is going to be really hard for you to deal with if you don't take them out first. So again, really good selective targeting here from Team Indonesia, and really nice how they were able to put together these classes for such a beautiful combination here in our last match. But up next, of course, we have match number 15. 10 more matches to go, and I think since we're ready, enough yapping for me, let's go and get into the game. We're back again with Team Philippines versus Team Thailand. Earlier, Team Thailand did take 1 point from Team Philippines. The question now is Team Philippines going to get the revenge and earn that point back, equalizing the score? Venus here dashing into the tower. Renala trying to start something here. Gets knocked up themselves. Wise sustaining a lot of damage very early on. Heals it back up with the potion. And Renala getting knocked up. The members of Team Exodiac not able to move so much. Trying to create an opportunity here, but again, everyone is a little bit scattered, and Wise looking very much in trouble there. Now Tanoshi from Team Thailand tries to go in on Renala, but they're all 3 of them are going to be punished by our Cloud Strider player. Good disengage, of course, from Team Exodiac, but Ardent Blue looking for another opportunity. They're going to be locking in on Venus. Venus dashes away just in time. Comets go in, knocking up Wise. Team Thailand again being very disciplined, backing off when their cooldowns aren't up yet, but Ardent Blue again making sure that they doesn't give any room for Team Exodiac to regroup and rethink how they want to approach this. Ardent Blue tries to set something up in the middle by that tower. Not going to be catching anybody. Tanoshi very low here, but Wise is as well. Everyone now pacing themselves, making sure the individual members of their team don't get taken out. They want to be in, they want to have that numbers advantage at the end of the day, but it looks like Wise is going to be going down first from Team Philippines. 3 members still up for the pirate crew. Tanoshi keeps himself alive. Venus and Renala trying to create an opportunity here. It doesn't connect, unfortunately. Renala left to deal with the members of the pirate crew as Venus tries to poke from afar. Byrain not gonna give them the space to do that. Venus getting bullied here. Taking blow after blow as Ardent Blue is keeping Renala busy. Renala unable to respond to Venus. Both of them dash away. Shots not connecting just yet. Barely halfway through the timer here for the 3v3. The arena set ablaze. Once again, Tanashi is going to be down here for Pirate Crew. In terms of manpower, we are equalized. Ardent Blue, very low. Renala is not able to finish them off, but things are looking a little bit better in Team Philippines' favor. Ardent still dangerously low. Venus trying to get that shot as they run away. It's not going to be connecting. Byrain tries to shake them off of his teammate. It looks like it's going to be working for now. But again, one shot from Venus or Renala, and that is going to be it for Ardent Blue. Renala, really good shielding for Venus. Venus able to peel for themselves in the air, making really good use of the aerial dodge mechanic. Ardent Blue does get a shot from Venus. Venus takes down Ardent Blue. One player left now for the Thai team. 2 members left for Team Exodiac. Can they close it out against Byrain? We still have 1 minute left on the clock. Byrain can still peel for himself as an Elementalist. Dashes into the air. Tries to set something up here, but a lot of that burning is going to take him out. That last tick doesn't get him alive, but now it's just a matter of time before Venus takes out the last member of the Pirate Crew, earning another point back for Team Philippines. Team Exodiac and Team Pirate Crew now equalized 5-5 in this 3v3 matchup. It's looking very, very close, but props to Team Philippines. Very beautifully executed. In the beginning, I will admit, things did look a little bit more in the Pirate Crew's favor. They had a lot more control, especially with how they took out Wise so early on in the match. But of course, really good coordination here from Renala and Venus. Venus did a very good job in appealing for themselves, making sure that they were still able to kind of watch their own back as Renala was keeping off the enemies from the Pirate Crew. But the Pirate Crew, of course, they kept themselves alive for so long, and the fact that they were able to take out Wise so early in the match just shows how good they are at choosing their targets and making sure that they lock them down. So again, very good efforts from both teams, but now the score is equalized once again. Team Philippines and Team Thailand down to 5-5, and that was match 15. So 9 matches still to go. Up next, of course, we still have our match between Team Indonesia and Team Taiwan, who are also climbing up the ranks very, very slowly. But right now, so far, I think I do see a lot of people in the chat. The chat has definitely gotten very lively thanks to that last match. It's been very, very exciting. I think we definitely enjoy watching these closer games. They are definitely a lot more competitive. But that's it for match number 15. Let's go straight into match 16. Alright, it looks like match 16 is already underway. It is going to be Team Orange GD versus Team Ads once again, and Team Taiwan looking like they're in a little bit of trouble here. Again, this is our 2 Magic Blade players together with the Elementalist. They have shown how hard it is for people to kind of get out of the infinite knockup, but of course, they haven't been undefeated so far, which means, again, gods can bleed here. But again, Team Ads, they have been suffering a little bit here in the 3v3. 2 points so far underneath Team Indonesia's belt. Alright, looks like we're going to be seeing a little bit of that Magic Blade magic as they knock up the members of Team Indonesia. But again, we do want to highlight one of our players here, Mithril, our Starbreaker player who's been doing an excellent job of locking down targets for their teammates. But unfortunately, that exact player is going to be the one who is low on HP very early on. Goonie, though, is going to be taking the brunt of our 2 Magic Blade players locked into the corner, but manages to break free just in time. Unfortunately, our Starbreaker player Mithril is going to be going down very, very early. Things looking very grim here for Team Ads. Of course, Goonie, unfortunately, being locked together with a fifth, our team captain here. They're going to be going for Goonie first. The members of Orange GD picking one first and then dealing with the other later. A fifth manages to lock down the other elementalist of the other team, and Goonie still managing to hold their own. Unfortunately, it looks like it's only a matter of time as they slowly get chip damage through each of these skirmishes. And now, as they get locked down once again, Milu Bear is going to be taking down Goonie, and all that's left now is our team captain here for Team Indonesia, a fifth, trying to walk away. No one getting caught in that cyclone. And the members of Orange GD just watching and taking him down. 1v3, no mercy. And just like that, Team Taiwan gets another point under their belt. That one was a very, very quick match, I would say. Again, this Magic Blade combo has been really, really good, especially with the Elementalist. You have your two Magic Blades locking someone down, and then your Elementalist just dishes out all the damage while they can. And it's been proving to be a very strong team comp so far in these squad matches. But of course, they're not undefeated. They have lost, I believe, at least once. But currently they have 3 points or 4 points even under their belt. So they're looking again as one of our top contenders here for the special awards that we have later. But you know, we do want to talk about our Starbreaker here. Earlier, Mithril was one of our very threatening players to deal with. Definitely one of the players to look out for in this tournament. So props, of course, to Team Taiwan to identifying that threat and making sure that they deal with it very early on by isolating Goonie and making sure that they take down Mithril with no problem. So GG's, of course, to both teams. We still have, I believe, 8 matches left coming our way. And so far, I just want to see how you guys are feeling. Who do you think is going to be taking home the wins? Who do you think is winning the special award? Which team do you think has the most wins? This is not the country, not the whole team, but the 3 players. Who do you think is doing it so far? And of course, I do want to ask, so far the tie right now is between Team Thailand and Team Philippines. So we're going to have to wait for another tiebreaker to happen in a couple of matches to see where they stand later. All right, we have some people cheering for Team Philippines. We have some people cheering for Team Orange GD as well. The Magic Blade are really good at chasing enemies. That is true. The double Magic Blade has definitely been a force to reckon with. The 2 Magic Blades, yep, a lot of people who are fans of the Magic Blade combo. All right. Okay, I think we definitely have some fan favorites, but now it's time for match 17. So strap right in. Game's ready. All right, now this one is interesting. This may actually be, this could give a leg up here to the Pirate crew. Of course, they are tied with Philippines 5-5 for the tournament point, but if they can secure a win against Team Taiwan, they do set themselves up for a pretty good rest of the journey throughout this round robin if they can get a 1-point lead here. But of course, Orange GD, both of their teams have been pretty strong, have had a pretty strong showing so far in this tournament, so they're not going to go down quite so easily. A lot of people throwing abilities into the middle of the arena, but it looks like the members of the Pirate crew are actually going to be soaking up most of that damage. Our Scythe Guard Chinono's a little bit low, but starting to play a little bit further back after realizing they've taken a bit of damage. On the other hand, our Scythe Guard player from Team Taiwan is going to be receiving the same treatment as well. Patu getting in behind the tower, but the rest of the members of Team Taiwan are going to be coming in for support, helping their teammate, getting everyone off of their backs. We get some sustain here for Team Orange GD, as well as the Pirate crew just now. Our gunners, of course. Both teams unable to tell which fire belongs to who. Patu, a really nice engage on our Magic Blade player, keeping them out of the fray for a little longer. But our gunner here for Team Orange GD is going to be suffering quite a few blows here from Chinonos, who's been finding a lot of really good openings to get in, deal a couple of slashes, and get out. Now, Chinonos once again repositioning together with their team. walking off a little bit to the side here. They don't want to get themselves too isolated, of course. As we've seen so far, a lot of these guys have found that when you're isolated, it is really hard to join up with the rest of your team, especially with the way that they're able to lock down these people into corners. And having a Magiblade on one of these teams makes it even more risky to make movements like this. Our gunner player here for Orange GD taking their time as Patu tries to engage in the middle. All the members of the pirate crew are going to be jumping on this one person as they reposition into the corner. Our gunner here for Team Orange GD dangerously low. The shot is not going to connect. Pang Sampong, our team captain, looks like she's going to be looking for an opening that she's creating herself. Sends in some missiles and a fire pit flamethrower as well. Tinono's going to be eating up a lot of that damage, but in such a quick flurry, the members of Team Taiwan are all brought down to lethal HP. It's only a matter of seconds before the pirate crew are able to take them down one by one. It looks like they're going to be locking down on Tomorrow. Tomorrow goes down first. Patu and Shinonos are looking for their next victim. It looks like it's going to be our team captain here. Shut Eye Orange, still alive in the corner, gets taken down now. And to close out the match, looks like it is going to be Patu taking down our Scythe Guard here from Team Taiwan. Point now goes to the pirate crew, putting them 1 point ahead in this tournament. So 6 points now for the pirate crew, putting themselves ahead of everyone. And of course, so far in terms of individual squads alone, the members from the pirate crew, both squads, actually have a lot of points as squads alone. In fact, they are even competing against each other for the special award because they have a lot of wins under their belts. So again, looking really, really competitive, of course, from our Thai team, but that doesn't leave our other teams out of the count. Team Philippines is very close behind. And of course, now we're seeing a lot of interesting movements from Team Indonesia. So again, pretty interesting what we've been seeing so far, but we do have a lot of people talking about how these Magiblade players have been being so crucial in these PvP matches. So I do want to ask you guys, so when you guys do these 3v3 PvPs, what class do you want to have on your team? It doesn't have to be the one that you play, but which classes do you like to have on your teams? Like comfort classes that you like to have? Do you like to always have a Scythe Guard for a little bit of protection, of course? Or do you like to have someone in the front lines, like maybe a Starbreaker? Just sound off in the comments below. And I think right now we have a lot of people in our Facebook and TikTok chat sending support for Team Philippines, Team Thailand here in the YouTube chat as well. And I think we have our next map, so let's get into the action. All right, we are now back again with this team from Team Ads, Team Indonesia. One of the most variety pick teams that we've had so far in terms of classes. They just came from a win, and we're excited to see what they have here for us again. But up next, of course, we have Team Zodiac, led by their team captain Myrtle here as the gunner once again. Earlier, they did have a heavy loss in their last showing, but now things look to be improving a lot, especially with the way that Master Devs and Cranberry are approaching these engages from Team Indonesia. All right, Lonely getting knocked back. Cranberry is trying to create a few openings here, while Myrtle and Master Devs hang in the backline, waiting until an opportunity is created. Kaze is going to be suffering the blows of Myrtle, but Myrtle does get punished back for it. She backs off as she waits for her cooldowns. And Lonely looks to be creating an opening himself. Doesn't seem to be connecting. Does manage to get Myrtle with that final hit. Few sweeps from him. Knock up. Myrtle not going to be stunned for too long. Myrtle repositions. Gets up mid-range to Scatty, our magician player. And Lonely again on her back, while the other two members of both teams try to hash it out in the corner. Kaze and the Scatty going to be down to half HP. Cranberry still sustaining pretty well this late into the match, especially as the frontliner. Kaze now gets a transformation. able to deal a lot more damage now. Doesn't hit anyone with that Cyclone, however. Cranberry does recover. And so far, things seem to be leading more into the favor of Team Exodiac. They've regrouped and it looks like they're going to be focusing all of their attention on K's, but the engage is broken. Lonely now, 2v1ing this with Myrtle and Cranberry. It looks like he's going to be focusing all of his efforts onto Myrtle, who does manage to escape. K's now down for the count, taken out by the two members of Team Philippines. It's now a 2v3, but however, on the other hand, Myrtle is still in a lethal range, being chased down by the members of Team Ads. Lonely now, isolated from his team, does recover a little bit of that HP. Myrtle still staying strong. Master Devs coming in for the cover, but Cranberry gotta stop Scatty for the support. Lonely now, dangerously low. It's gonna be Myrtle versus Lonely. It looks like Myrtle is gonna be taking him out, keeping herself alive. It's now Scatty versus the three members of Team Philippines. Myrtle just barely escapes the Cyclone, and Scatty left to fend for himself. Looks like Myrtle is going to be keeping herself in the back line, making sure she doesn't sustain any more damage than she needs to. Leaving the rest to her two teammates to finish off our lone magician player here for Team Indonesia, and that is going to be it. Team Philippines earns another point, equalizing the score once again between Team Thailand. 6-6 between Team Philippines and Team Thailand. This one looked pretty close. Honestly, between Myrtle and Lonely, you would expect the melee character to have a little bit of a hand up or a foot up in that 1v1. But of course, Master Devs being so good at peeling for his teammates. Just excellent job in what he did there. Myrtle stayed alive until the very end, and Lonely, unfortunately, our Berserker player had to fall there towards the end. But of course, that was just match 18. We still have a couple more matches to go, 5 more matches, and there is still a tie between the Thailand team and the Philippine team. So again, it's looking very, very close. A lot of people are saying that these people are cooking. Every team has been cooking in the chat. But again, with the tie that we have so far, 6-6, who do you think is going to be coming out on top? And of course, not to forget our two teams from Indonesia and Taiwan. They have been showing us some incredible stuff with their very interesting team compositions. So it's been pretty exciting to see what these two teams have been bringing out. All right, we do have some people talking about wanting to see more classes here in the PvP. All right, we do have Berserker with a really good opening. We do have to give it to Lonely from our Indonesian team, who's been having some really good opening strikes in the beginning, especially earlier. Really good opening engage from them just now. And right now, we're going to be going into our next match. The next match is actually really, really interesting because these are arguably the best teams in Team Thailand and Team Taiwan. So earlier, Team Thailand, if you guys don't know already, they are the top 3 players in their classes in the Thai server. And on the other hand, for Team Taiwan, you guys' favorite, the double Magiblade players with the Elementalists are going to be going head-to-head in this next match. So I want to ask you guys in the chat right now, before the match begins, who do you think take home the win? Because both of these teams, one has been undefeated, one only has 1 loss, but they have been probably the highlight teams that we have seen so far here in the Super Showmatch. I think even the Magiblade players, they have had the fastest matches. I believe they close their matches within 1 to 2 minutes, which is pretty fast for Magiblades because they do have a lot of lockdown potential, but they're able to really close out the game pretty quickly. And I actually think our next match is ready, so let's head straight into it. All right, again, such an interesting matchup here. Our double Magiblades versus the top 3s in the server. All right, let's see how they're going to be opening up here. Our Magiblades usually make their games very quick, and it looks like they actually are going to be doing that. Arden Blue does get a lot of hits there. Down to half HP, not going to be sustaining it back anytime soon. He's locked in. Actually, I think he's trapped. This may be it for Arden Blue. He's stuck in behind the tower. He doesn't get locked just yet. Get Me does get low, but he sustains it back. Arden Blue, again, a very scary situation for them there. this team has been undefeated so far, but it looks like they may be meeting their first loss here in the Super Showmatch. Our Taiwan team, of course, being very aggressive as they've always been throughout this. Ardent Blue, dangerously low. It looks like they're going to be trying to close it out on him there. His teammates do provide a little bit of delay there. Byron taking a bit of the hits just so that Ardent Blue can get away. Of course, they don't want to lose Ardent Blue being that person who's able to create so much disruption in the team. Now, our Magic Blade players for Team Taiwan, a little bit low, but Ardent Blue does get downed in the crossfire. 2 players left now for the Pirate crew, but it looks like another member of Team Orange is going to be joining them shortly. But gets sustained just in time. Get Me, also looking very low, is going to be backing off. They don't want to lose that numbers advantage, but of course both our Magic Blade players for the side of Orange GD are very low. It's going to be very difficult for them to try and have any isolated fights, especially being this low. They can't take any more extra hits than they need to. Looks like they're going to try to lock in on Byron. Really good pickup here. Looks like they're going to be grouping up on him. Our Elementalist does follow up as well. Byron, surprisingly, our 2 Magic Blade players still alive in all of this, despite everything being thrown at them. They're chasing Byron, now chasing Tanoshi. Tanoshi is going to be the one getting knocked up. None of the hits are going to be hitting, but in a flurry of comments, both Magic Blade players are going to be taken down. 1 player left now for the side of Orange GG. Again, half HP, still relatively comfortable, but no sustain left for the side of the Pirate crew, but they do lock him down. Tanoshi also low. Last member tries to walk out. It looks like it does take down Tanoshi, but the last electrocution is gonna get our final member of Team Orange GD. Elementalist to Elementalist, our Pirate crew does secure the victory. What a highlight. Of course, this was the biggest match that we had so far in terms of the individual skill from our players. And just like that, the Pirate crew secure their win, still undefeated here in the Crystal of Atlan Super Showmatch, just showing just how good they are as players and as a team. Very coordinated, especially in that last fight, 2v1 against the last member of Orange GD. It looked very close. They did take down Tanoshi, but of course, really good spacing and managing their abilities made sure that they were able to dish out 1 damage as they dashed away. So props, of course, to Team Thailand, just showing absolute domination in the PvPs so far. But that makes them 7 points now here in the total tally, putting them ahead of Team Philippines once again, which we do have up next, who are going to be trying to equalize the score once again. Now, Tanoshi, we do have some people talking about Tanoshi. Tanoshi did have such a good showing. Honestly, it's been really refreshing to see our Starbreaker players and, of course, our Thai team coming out as well. But that is going to be the decider for this. Up next, of course, we have the Philippine team versus, I believe, Team Indonesia. We do have our team captain versus VWise. So again, a very exciting matchup as well. We have a lot of people talking about how they're looking forward to the next match, of course. But we do have some interesting takes here, of course. We do have to agree. A lot of these compositions in a PvP, you have to decide how much more of a frontline you want, how much damage you want in the end. And a really good take here about how the plan was good, but of course the execution with a very, very glass cannon sensitive lineup like they had just now is very prone to being taken down with a few missteps. But of course, up next, we have a really, really exciting matchup. I think, of course, we have very, very good players here, especially with the way that we have Renala, I believe our Cloud Strider player, as well as Mithril, who has been an excellent Starbreaker player. Seeing them go to head to head is really going to be interesting to see how they tackle this. And of course, earlier, we did see a lot of our teams have been focusing Wise in all of these matches because Wise has been playing an Elementalist, but plays a lot more in the front. So again, normally you'd see your Elementalist in the back, but you know, everyone has their own take on how they want to play these. But our next match is ready, so let's hop right in. All right, next match, of course, Team Exodiac versus Team Ads. We have Venus, Wise, and Renala here on one end, and of course, Mithril, Afif, and Goonie on the other. Afif is our team captain here for Team Indonesia. Mithril and everyone actually taking quite an early blow from Team Exodiac, forcing themselves to take that early sustain very early on. Of course, first minute, you don't want to have to use your potions just yet. Venus, really good cheeky flamethrower usage right there. Afif as well, maintaining his distance as he throws out a couple of shots. Wise gonna be locked down in the air, but Venus scares off the members of Team Indonesia. Goonie and Renala both down to half HP, both of our Cloud Striders. But Renala, of course, still having that sustain from earlier. Goonie, unfortunately, does not have that same privilege. Gonna be staying away from the fight as they recharge their abilities. One thing to note as well is Venus has been making use of a lot of the long-range abilities of the Gunner class, making sure that he can still poke while the rest of the members are still charging up their abilities. So, really good way to keep the enemy team on their toes. Afif gonna be knocked up there. Not gonna be hurt too much. Unfortunately, Goonie not looking in a very comfortable spot to make any engages anytime soon. Mithril staying a little bit away from the fight. Wise just going in there, going after the Elementalist player, taking down the team captain, knocking him up over and over again. He's not able to answer back. He tries to reply to Wise here, but Wise is not going to be taking much damage from it. Venus, on the other hand, is going to be 1v1ing Mithril in the back. Our Gunner player up against the Starbreaker. Very interesting indeed. Now Venus and Wise going 2v1 against Mithril. Goonie is down for the count. 2 members left here for Team Indonesia. Mithril and Afif, similar levels of HP for both of them. It's going to be dangerous if they get grouped up like this. Looks like Afif is going to be shot out of the sky, gets caught in the cyclone, gets taken out next. And now, final hits from Wise, cleans up Afif, and now Venus, with a couple of shots, takes Mithril out as well. Team Philippines, once again, equalizing the score with Team Thailand, 7-7. Amazing feat, of course, from both of these teams here that we just saw. Of course, Team Indonesia, we have seen the way that they've approached the earlier matches that they had. I would say in terms of ramp up, Team Philippines has definitely changed their strategy going into this. But of course, Renala, Venus, and Wise, you cannot deny the team synergy that is going on here, especially creating opportunities for each other and covering each other when they get in trouble. Especially if you've noticed a lot of the times that Wise or Venus gets locked down, one of them is just already there to support the other. And of course, Renala doing an excellent job of isolating a singular member of the opposing team to let the other two just dish out the damage when they want to. But of course, an interesting take here as well. Mithril and Goonie, if you saw the way that they were trying to trade places together with Afif, creating that space in the middle, they definitely tried to create a lot of mid control. But earlier, just now with the way that everything was happening in the team fight, I believe Team Philippines was able to kind of shove the fight into the corners of the arena, which made it a lot easier for them to hide behind the turrets and allowing Venus to get a lot of those shots off without getting punished for it. So again, very well played to our teams here. We still have 4 matches left. Up next, we have Team Philippines versus Team Taiwan once again. And this team from Team Taiwan, they've shown a lot of interesting plays as well. But just now, we do have Cranberry, Master Devs, and Myrtle once again joining us in the ranks. So really interesting to see what they're going to be bringing. We have a lot of people who are talking about the initiations as well, and the duo and how well their synergy has been working out. And of course, you cannot deny these teams have been practicing with each other for quite some time now before the Super Show match. Even before the matches today, They have been practicing in Discord calls and making sure that they watch the gameplay from yesterday and applying things to today. I know we have a few of our 1v1 players who are still in the chat today. So thank you, of course, for being here to support your teammates in the 3v3s. Of course, at the end of the day, this would not be possible without you guys here fighting yesterday in the 1v1s and, of course, our PvE time trial. But, of course, 4 matches left. There's not a lot of room for any errors at this point. But now let's get straight into match 21. All right, of course, just like we said earlier, it's Team Zodiac versus Team Orange GD. Now, again, this is our double Magic Blade player composition together with our Elementalist. And so far, they have a pretty good, solid strategy of how they want to go about this. And just like that, as you can see, that very aggressive initiation they have just off the bat, you can see how well they have this combo down to a T. But Cranberry, again, and Master Devs making a really good job of trying to disrupt that combo, making sure that it isn't as unbreakable as it should be. Unfortunately, they are isolated. Master Devs not looking in the most comfortable of spots right now. Tries to use that ultimate to reposition himself and sustain a little bit. But again, as you can see, our double Magic Blade players, they are pretty unrelenting. Look at the way that they just jump on the members of Team Zodiac. Myrtle now looking in a bit of trouble here. Get Me is going to be knocking her up. Doesn't try to finish the rest of the combo though. As they lock Master Devs and Cranberry into the corner. Master Devs looking a little bit dangerous. Tries to get out. It doesn't seem like that is going to be the case. Master Devs, first one to go for Team Philippines. Cranberry and Myrtle are all that are left. Myrtle left to fend for herself against Shu, while Get Me and tomorrow Milu Bear are dealing with Cranberry. Myrtle still has a chance to reposition if she has her cooldown up. She does fire a shot at Get Me. It does connect. Cranberry also trying to disrupt a few of the members of Team Orange GD, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough to save Myrtle as she goes down as well. Final member here for Team Zodiac, and again, this composition has been so unrelenting in the way that they handle these fights. Cranberry, final effort, but in the face of this team comp, it looks like those efforts are going to be futile. And there you have it. Team Orange GD gets another win under their belt. And of course, a good effort from Team Zodiac here. We did see a lot of promising plays that they tried to initiate. But again, you cannot deny just how aggressive the Magic Blade players can be, especially with how confident they are in carrying out these executes. So again, props to them for just being very, very coordinated in their approach here. And let's see, again, they did get taken down by Team Thailand earlier, but at the end of this, we're going to have to see, were they able to rack up enough points as the individual squad for our special award? Again, our special award is going to be receiving $3,000 for the winning team, which again, pretty big deal for each of these players. Each one of them $1,000 each. So a lot of our teams, we do have 2 squads from Team Thailand and 1 squad from Team Taiwan that are definitely gunning for that award. So we're gonna have to see how these last 3 matches play out, because of course we still have 1 undefeated team, but at the end of the day, we do know that not everyone here is invincible. Now we do have the final 3 matches coming up, so we'll find out the scores as soon as these last final 3 matches wrap up. But so far, again, Team Thailand, Team Taiwan, pretty confident in the way that they approach these games. Team Philippines as well. I feel like Team Philippines has given us a lot of the exciting matches as well. And Team Indonesia, undeniably, one of the teams that likes to shake things up and change things here and just kind of bring us a new flavor of how to deal with PvP here in Crystal of Atlan. So it's been very exciting to see how they tackle all of these. And I think a lot of people are now talking about how they want to see more people join these matches. So of course, if you want to join these matches, our creators did bring in these players from the server. So again, maybe in the future, but right now we've got our next match. So let's jump right in. All right, it's the Pirate Crew once again versus Team Ads. Pang Sampong, our team captain, versus our other team captain here on the other side. It is Afif for Team Indonesia. And now, Mithril and Goonie, we have to admit they had a strong start here in the beginning of the tournament. But now, of course, I think that their strategy has been figured out. Chinonos as well was a very strong scythe guard in the beginning. But now, of course, everyone has tried to focus on isolating and taking down single targets. Afif and Pang Sampong gonna be trading blows from a distance. Pang gonna be trying to shoot a few shots at Goonie. A few of them do land on Mithril. Afif try to go for the dodge. Pang Sampong going to be knocked up first. And now, first skirmish of this match. Afif, surprisingly, the initiation was done by Team Indonesia, but it looks like they're going to be punished for it. Mithril going in, nice Nuka on Pang Sampong, but Patu is going to create that distance covering for their carry. Again, Patu, been very good at creating space for their teammates, creating a lot of disengages as well. Very, very important to have here in this PvP setup. Both teams now looking for an opening. Afif tries to fire a few shots. Patu trying to land a few on Mithril as well. Nothing is going to hit, unfortunately. Pang Sampong and Goonie going to be going at it. But of course, Pang Sampong, being the more fragile class, doesn't want to stick around for too long. Our scythe guard player creating a lot of space, forcing the players of Team Indonesia to back into the other corner. 3 minutes left on the clock and everyone's health still pretty high. I might have to take that back because right now we have another skirmish. Chinonos is going to be knocked up quite a bit. Looks like they're going to be the target of this onslaught from Team Ads. The Pirate Crew going to be making sure they stay up in the air, trying to dodge a lot of the damage happening on the ground. Both teams now trying to assess, look for an opening here. Pang Sampong firing a few shots off. Goonie, it looks like a little bit of a split is going to happen. Looks like a pincer attack coming here from Team Indonesia as they surround the members of the Pirate Crew. The Pirate Crew do get scattered here, but it looks like it may not be working in Team Indonesia's favor. Afif going to be brought down dangerously low. And now Mithril, isolated, does manage to knock up Chinonos and Patu, but again, it isn't going to convert to much. Goonie sending a few shots their way. Fifth as well. Trying to play a little bit safer this time around. Our gunner making it very difficult for Team Indonesia to move. Pang Sampong, again, creating a lot of space with her fire. Patu getting quite a few hits off on Goonie. Afif as well. Both two members now very low for Team Indonesia, but the Pirate Crew are also not far behind. And now it looks like Team Indonesia is trying to go for another pincer attack. Goonie tries to go from the right while the other two members go from the left. It looks like they're going to be trying a different approach now. Goonie goes in the front together with Patu, but unfortunately Afif is not able to follow up as they get knocked up mid-air. Everyone is dangerously low and Goonie looks like they're going to be going down for the count first. Two members left alive for Team Indonesia. 50 seconds left on the clock. Afif not down yet. Still burning. Are those ticks going to get them? Not quite, but Mithril is going to be going down on the other side of the stage. And just like that, Team Indonesia gets wiped out by the Pirate Crew. Pirate Crew, once again, 8 points on the scoreboard here in this tournament. Just 2 more matches left to go before we have our winner. But again, this is probably the longest match that we had so far. It already reached over 4 minutes, which again has been very uncommon here in the tournament so far. So everyone is playing a lot safer. Everyone is judging their opponents, making sure that they wait for a mistake first before any engages. But do want to give a little shout out here to Pang Sampong and Afif, our team captains. They were playing both of the classes that do a lot of that long range damage, making sure that they were still trying to poke the enemy team during those downtimes. So really good job there. And of course, our initiators, I would arguably maybe the stars of the show here, having really good engages, making sure to create those opportunities for their teammates. But of course, we have 2 matches left in this tournament. Match 23 and 24 are going to be showing us a final glimpse of one squad from each of our remaining countries. So, of course, send your love to the teams that you're supporting, to your fleet. If your fleet is playing in the tournament today, show them some love as well. Maybe you have a friend playing as well. And if you guys want to join in, make sure that you guys grind up your ranks so that other people can see that you are the top in your server as well. And maybe you'll find yourself in one of these super show matches in the future, because, you know, this is just the start of many things. Of course, we have the Super Show Match and the collaboration with One Punch Man coming very, very soon. So a lot of stuff is in store for Crystal of Atlan. So if I were you guys, I would grind up those ranks. I would grind up those ranks. All right. Up next, of course, match 23, we have Scatty, Tylenol, and Kaze from Team Indonesia. And of course, we have Arden Blue, Byron, and Tanoshi from Team Taiwan. So again, very interesting matchup here. This is the one I'd say maybe the most different classes that we've seen so far. So personally, I like seeing the different classes in these PvPs. So I don't know. I kind of hope we do see more in the future. I do want to see, personally, I do want to see a bounty hunter in one of these PvPs in the future, and maybe a Blade Maiden, because Blade Maidens, of course, they're very uncommon, but I think if you're able to master the Blade Maiden, of course, it profits. The profits are very, very high if you're able to master them a little bit more. But of course, we do see the Gunner has been one of the crowd favorites, one of the player favorites so far, not just in the 3v3s, but even in the 1v1s. The Gunner is definitely one of the stronger classes, as well as the Magiblade and the Cloud Strider, who's made a lot of appearances in a lot of these PvP matches. So it's been pretty exciting to see how these guys mix and match these classes. And I think there was one more, I can't remember the class right now, but there was one other class that was almost in every single team that we've seen so far in the PvPs. So we definitely have some classes that a lot of people are more familiar with using here in the PvPs. There are people talking about 1v1s. Unfortunately, guys, the 1v1s did happen yesterday. If you do want to watch the 1v1s, there is the VOD available on Facebook and YouTube if you want to see the outcomes of those. We had a lot of interesting takes. The Gunners, I believe, were also the stronger ones as well. The Gunners had the most of the wins yesterday, I believe, in the PvP, as well as our Scythe Guard player from Thailand. But now, match 23 is underway, so let's get the show on the road. All right, let's see. We've got, of course, the most variation in classes. Like we said earlier, Team Indonesia versus the Pirate Crew. We have Kaze, Scatty, and Lonely with the Warlock, Berserker, Magician lineup. And on the other hand, we have Starbreaker, Magiblade, and Elementalist here for the Thai team. Now, again, Lonely doesn't look like they're going to be going for that very early engage. Scatty, on the other hand, looks like they're throwing in a lot more. Scatty and Lonely unfortunately get caught in that knockup, taking quite a bit of early damage in the first minute of the game. Everyone from Team Thailand, though, looking pretty good so far. Tanoshi, really good engage there. Gets out just as they run out of abilities to use. 2 Cyclones come out here from our Magister classes. And Kaze keeps their distance as they try to re-enter once again. Another Cyclone manages to connect with Tanoshi, but again, the members of the Pirate Crew are not taking too much damage. Lonely now in a bit of a difficult position in that 1v1 against Tanoshi. Scatty as well. This match is going a little bit faster than we anticipated. 2 members now for Team Indonesia in the red now. Byron gonna be trying to bring Kaze down as well. Lonely trying to stay alive, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be around much longer. One dash in. Still not down yet. Manages to knock by Rain. Tries to go for another knockup. Only surprisingly lasted a lot longer than we thought. But Scatty and K still trying to keep it in for this final match. Things are looking grim here for the side of Team Indonesia as Scatty does go down. Tanoshi, Ardent Blue, and Byrain now closing in on the final member here for Team Indonesia. He's left in the air, returns to the ground, tries to run away and buy more time. Doesn't look like that's going to do anything as he's killed mid-air by a flurry of attacks from our Cloud Strider. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, another win for the Pirate crew, which, again, we don't have the final tally yet. Team Philippines still has an opportunity to go for a tie. And, of course, in the event of a tie, we will play a tiebreaker match. But we have to see what happens in this last match. It is going to be Team Philippines versus Team Taiwan. It is Venus, Wise, and Renala, of course, against the captain of Team Taiwan, Shadai Orange, Yecha, and Tomorrow. So it's going to be a very highlight match as our final match of the day. But again, it's too soon to say who is going to be the winner. So, of course, you guys, before this final match, sound off which team you're supporting in the comments below. And of course, which players are your favorite? I definitely see a lot of player favorites here on Facebook. And of course, classes. A lot of people seem to be fans of the Elementalist and the Bounty Hunters in all of the chats, actually. So surprising, we don't see them much here in the tournament, but hopefully we'll see them very soon in future tournaments. So make sure you guys are staying updated for future tournaments like this in the future. Of course, up next, we do have our, I believe it is our Gunner. We have a Gunner sported by Venus, an Elementalist by Wise, and Renala, our Cloud Strider. And of course, Orange has been doing a very good job as an Elementalist as well. Tomorrow and Yecha too. So again, this, I believe, Shadai Orange has 2 wins under their game, but I think it's time for our final match. So let's jump straight in. All right, final match of the 3v3 PvP. Who is it going to be? Team Exodiac or Team Orange GD? All right. An early onslaught already by Renala. Renala is not going to be holding back. Wise also being very aggressive here, going 2v1 against the members of Team Orange GD. Yecha does sustain quite a bit of early damage. Not sure if they're going to be using that sustain. They pop it just now. Wise as well. Back to full HP. Renala backing off. And it looks like our Scytheguard player here, interestingly enough, is going to be trying to take on Renala in a 1v1. But Wise is going to be there for the support as Venus, making sure to dish out damage from the side, kiting as they can. Cooldowns are up still for Venus. Flurry of fire coming in from Venus, doing a lot of damage to their Magic Blade player. Scytheguard tries to retaliate here, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen as the members of Team Exodiac come to Venus's rescue. Our Scytheblade now repositioning as another battle is happening across the arena. Venus in a little bit of trouble here, brought down to half HP. But our other Gunner on the other side suffering a similar fate as well. The members of Team Taiwan still have their potions that they just popped just now. But our Gunner, on the other hand, for Team Taiwan, it looks like Yecha is going to be going down very soon. Or rather, tomorrow. Yecha still holding on our Scytheguard player as Venus is going to be trying to take down their Gunner. Gunner versus Gunner in a 1v1 here by the tower. But Wise is going to be trying to close it out for them. And Wise does take down the enemy Gunner here. Yecha does go down. Yecha now locked down between the 3 members of Team Philippines. Renala gets knocked down. Of course, our last 2 members here of Team Taiwan fighting with everything they have, trying to take down at least a single member of Team Philippines. Doesn't look like that's going to happen as our Scytheguard is down for the count. And now, final member here for Team Taiwan. Our captain, all alone to fend for himself. Doesn't look like that's gonna be it. Everyone getting in on that final kill as Team Exodia closes our final match here in the 3v3 PvP. And once again, Team Philippines now has a point under their belt. And I think that may mean that we have a tie between Team Thailand and Team Philippines. We'll have to verify in just a second. Don't take my word for it because we're going to have the results in just a second. But of course, that is our final match here for the official lineup of the 3v3s. Which team do you guys think is taking home the win for the overall champion? I want to see you guys in the comments. Who do you guys think is it going to be? We have a lot of people cheering for Team Philippines, Exodiac. We have some people saying Team Thailand as well. The Pirate Crew, we have some people for the Pirate Crew as well. All right. Okay. We definitely thank you guys so much for being here and supporting your favorite players and your favorite fleet as well. We're going to see in just a second who our final winner is and if we have to do a tiebreaker match. But I mean, in the end of it, it's going to be probably Team Thailand versus Team Philippines. So in just a second, we're going to be going to our match results. So feast your eyes on the screen. We do have... It doesn't look like it is going to be a tie as Team Thailand, the Pirate Crew, led by Pang Sampong, has 9 points in their total score, while Team Philippines has 7 points, respectively, 3 and 4. And it looks like squad number 2 for Team Thailand is going to be receiving our special award for the highest amount of points. And on the other hand, for Team Indonesia and Team Taiwan, we have 2 points for Team Indonesia and 5 points for Team Taiwan. Again, like this team, the Magiblade team, has definitely been such a force to reckon with. So no surprise there with the 5 points. But congratulations, of course, to Team Thailand. And now we're going to find out who our final winner is at the end of the day. It is going to be squad number 2 from Team Thailand with 5 points. It's going to be Byron, Arden Blue, and Tanoshi, our top 3 players in the Thai server. And of course, our Pirate Crew being the overall champion for the 3v3 PvP game mode. So that is going to be it. $4,000 and $3,000 to these teams, respectively. It's been such an exciting set of matches today. Again, I hope you guys have been enjoying the show so far. And it looks like overall placements, it looks like an absolute sweep here from Team Thailand, the Pirate Crew, the solo top 1, the team top 1, the 3v3, and the special 3v3 team top 1. An absolute dominating showing from Team Thailand. The Pirate Crew has definitely sailed the 7 seas and definitely brought back a lot of learnings from their journey there, because as you can see in all their matches, they've definitely shown their prowess here in the Crystal of Atlan arenas. But of course, we do have to give it to Team Taiwan. They were the top 1 in the character time trials. So really, really good job to them as well. And that is going to be it for our Crystal of Atlan Super Showmatch. So once again, thank you guys so much for joining us here at the Super Showmatch. We hope you guys have been enjoying the matches so far. Everything has been so exciting. All of the players, I believe, have been really excited to play in these matches. And of course, this is just the first of many, many different things that Crystal of Atlan has in store for you guys. So again, make sure that you stay updated on their different pages to keep updated. And of course, after the Super Showmatch, the next big thing that is happening is the One Punch Man collaboration. So that's going to be happening on June 26th. So again, stay updated on all our socials on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. And for final things, of course, thank you guys so much for being here. For supporting your fleet, supporting your friends, supporting your fellow players here. And I hope you guys learned a thing or two from watching the PvP 1v1s, the 3v3s, and the character time trials. So maybe, who knows, you maybe found a class that you like, or maybe a class that you want to try out, or maybe you found some new tricks for a class that you're currently playing. Who knows? there's so much that has happened here in these past 2 days. But of course, congratulations to Team Thailand and the Pirate Crew for their efforts. And of course, we don't want to forget our other teams here. Team Philippines with Team Exodiac led by Myrtle. Of course, Team Indonesia, Team Ads led by Afif. And Team Taiwan led by Shadai Orange, Team Orange GD. Of course, who knows? In the future, we may have even more teams because this is just 4 countries so far in the region. So again, so much could still happen in the future. We may be including more countries, of course. If you guys haven't seen your country here, you may be expecting them very, very soon in future show matches like this one. And even if they're not show matches, of course, we still have a lot of stuff like for the players, there will be player tournaments in the near future as well. So you guys make sure you grind out your ranks, especially for your respective classes, because there's going to be a lot of that in the future too. And now, as we wait, we do have a lot of people asking about the code. So currently, the code, they were given during the break earlier. If you missed it, the codes showed up on this part of the screen if you want to go back in the video to when the break happened earlier. I believe there were some people who are also talking about the codes in the chat. So if there are some nice people in the chat who want to put the codes in the chat as well, feel free to do that and help out your fellow adventurers and share the codes, share the blessings of the item code giveaway that we have here as well. And of course, if you guys haven't played Crystal of Atlan, or you're just starting to play, there are a lot of interesting things to try. And of course, one thing that we want to highlight is the fact that it is cross-platform. So if you guys have been playing on mobile or PC, surprise, Crystal of Atlan is also on PS5. So it's on mobile, PC, and PS5. You can play cross-play on your account on all of these devices, and you can also play with your friends on all of these devices. So again, a lot of opportunity for you guys to play with your friends and play anytime and anywhere. And of course, the gameplay experience has been incredible. As you can see, the hack and slash has been really, really cool. The graphics, of course. Some of these characters have really insane animations. Personally, I really like the Magician, even though I am a Warlock player. I think someone was asking that earlier. I play Warlock, but honestly, after watching these games, I think I want to move to Magician, maybe. I don't know. But it also has been really interesting to see the gunner classes. The gunner classes have been pretty interesting as well. And thank you so much to the people in the chat who have been sharing the codes in chat. You guys have been helping out your fellow adventurers. So everyone in the YouTube chat, thank you so much for doing that. And of course, we're still waiting for the final words before we can wrap up the show for today. And of course, for you guys, I want to ask everyone in chat, if you guys have been enjoying, how have you been enjoying your Crystal of Atlan experience so far? What classes are you playing? Are there any classes that you want to switch to after watching the tournament? Because honestly, the Gunner is looking very, very tempting, as well as the Magician class, if I do say so myself. We have some people talking about Warlock. Yep, Warlock, Bounty Hunter. All right, Blade Maiden as well. A lot of people here talking about the different classes. Yep. But don't worry, guys. There's still so much in store. And while we wait before we're able to close the show, I think we're doing just some final checks on everything before we close out. There are some people saying they're learning Magician right now. Okay. I believe you're still able to change your class during a certain frame of levels, but I can't be too certain. But of course, you guys are talking about seeing more support-focused classes in the future. That would be an interesting thing to explore as well. Because currently, how many support-based classes do we have? I think the one that comes to mind usually is the Scythe Guard, of course. But everything else seems a little bit more, heavy-handed and dishing out damage. We do have, of course, more defensive characters, but in terms of support, I guess it would primarily be the Scythe Guard. All right, so we're going to be just doing a quick check. I know that there have been some people raising concerns in chat about the score, but we're doing a recount, of course. We're making sure that everything has been counted fairly, so no worry on that. We're just going to have some one-on-us time while we wait for the scores to be rechecked. some people are saying they want to see the new classes from the other servers. I mean, I think that will definitely be something that is in the works. Of course, this is still the very early stages of the integration of Crystal of Atlan to the global server. So definitely a lot of new things are going to be happening. A lot of new things will be coming in store, and I believe they have already made some announcements on their official pages. If you haven't seen, the official Facebook page has made a few announcements of upcoming classes, as well as tips and build guides for the classes that are currently out. So they did have a lot. They do have a lot in store for you guys here, for our adventurers here in Crystal of Atlan. And now, again, we're still rechecking the points. So while we wait, again, if you guys missed the 1v1s and the PvE time trials, those happened yesterday. If you wanted to see, the PvE time trial was against the HexChess Elite. So that is currently, I believe, the highest boss or highest dungeon that you can currently challenge at the moment. You need to be level 60 to take this one on. So not sure if everyone has experience taking it on yet, but yesterday you should have seen how fast these teams were. Pretty quick with it and how they did it. All right. Currently, there are some people who are asking questions about the score. Again, our tournament organizers are still doing the final recount, making sure that everything is fair. And of course, in the event of anything happening, there may be a tiebreaker, or it may be decided on something else. But of course, we'll have to wait. As it's updating, okay, I think it's actually ready to update now. So we're going to be seeing the updated scores that we had from the 3v3 PvP matches that we had just now. So again, final recount, we're going to be taking a look. So all right, this is going to be the 3v3 PvP winner. It is going to be still Team Thailand, the pirate crew, with 9 points. And on the other hand, it is actually going to be Team Taiwan, the squad with Milubear, Get Me, and Shu, with 5 points that are going to be bagging the $3,000 prize. So earlier, I believe that this was Team Thailand, but now I believe the scores have been corrected. So congratulations to the squad from Team Thailand, which means Team Taiwan rather. Team Taiwan now has the 3v3 team top 1, and Team Thailand has the solo top 1, solo team top 1, and 3v3 top 1. So again, this is the final results for the past 2 days of the Crystal of Atlan Super Showmatch. It's been a very exciting 2 days. We hope you guys enjoyed it so much. And of course, thank you so much for being here. Again, if you want to keep updated on the official updates from Crystal of Atlan, make sure to follow all of their socials. And once again, to say goodbye, my name is Rabixco. I have been your caster and host for today. And thank you so much for joining us here at the Crystal of Atlan Super Showmatch. We'll see you next time. Bye.